Welcome to Patriots Stadium as your 1-2 Wayne Hills Patriots take on the 2-1 Indians of Pascack Valley. I'm Andrew Easse alongside Matt Conforti. Now, Matt, tonight's a big game for the Patriots. What do they have to do to start off strong?
I think to continue the success they had last week, I think they still have to continue to run the ball, give the ball to Justin Hogan. He had a great game last week. And if they keep running the ball, play good defense, Wayne Hills is going to be all right.
Absolutely. Now, name a player on the defense that you think has to step up tonight.
I'd like to see Kyle Brackett get a couple sacks. I'd like to see Justin Hogan play well in the middle. I think those two, if they play well, Wayne Hills is going to play well.
I agree. Now, offense, they looked really well last week running the ball. Do you think they're going to continue with that this week?
Yeah, I do think they're going to continue with the run game. The passing game, I think we'll see what kind of looks the Pascack Valley defense gives you, but I think if they continue to run the ball, they'll be okay.
Now, tonight, do you think the crowd's going to be a really big factor in this game?
I think it is. I think people are going to show up tonight. Wayne Hills fans are going to come support their team. And, yeah, I do think the crowd's going to be a factor tonight positively for Wayne Hills.
Now, obviously, this year we've had two quarterbacks starting for the Patriots, Pete Palzewski and Tom Skiba. Tonight, what do you think Tom Skiba has to do to get his team ready?
I think Tom Skiba has to take control of the offense. I think if he does that, it shows leadership. And I think, the other offensive players will believe in him. I think Wayne Hills is going to put some points on the board.
Now, do you think tonight a big play on special teams is going to win this game?
Absolutely. I think that every game, I think special teams is a very important part of the game. And if Wayne Hills plays good special teams, they're going to come out here with a win.
I agree. Now, back to what you were saying about Kyle Brackett. Kyle Brackett's a senior. He's a big player. Any other seniors you think that really need to step up tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to see Zach Alshamus make a couple plays at the defensive tackle position. I'd also like to see Joe Stambouli make some plays at outside linebacker. I think if they play well, they'll be all right.
I agree. Now, at a coaching standpoint, what do you think Coach Demikoff needs to do tonight to get the team ready?
I just think Coach Demikoff needs to say, keep the momentum going from last week because it was a really good game they played, put up 35 points against Northern Highlands. I think if they keep running the ball, they'll be okay.
Now, last week we saw a lot of penalties. Do you think this week in practice the Patriots made a point of making sure to play penalty-free football?
Yeah, I think they did. I don't think it's going to take away from their aggressiveness. I think they're going to still play good football, but yeah, I did think they addressed the penalties in practice, yep.
Absolutely. Now, Matt, if you look at this special team, as I said before, in the first couple games, the kicking game, they needed a little improvement, but they really have shown improvement. What do you think Coach Demikoff talked to his kickers about?
Just think, stay focused. They like to put up touchdowns on the board, but, field goals are important, and if they're in goal range, they have to make the field goals, that's all.
And now last week we also saw Chris Garone getting a lot of carries. Do you think tonight he's going to have a big impact on this game?
Yes, I do. Yeah, him and Justin Hogan will be great out of the backfield, I think.
Yeah. Now tonight, this is a really big game for the Patriots, but for Pascack Valley, they're picked to win. Do you think that plays anything towards Wayne Hills tonight? Do you think that being the underdog is going to play a factor in this game?
Yeah, I think they're motivated, a little extra special because Pascack Valley, like you said, is the favorite. I think Wayne Hills is a little pumped up tonight, and I think they're going to come out here with a win.
All right, I got to give you a game prediction, Matt. Who do you think wins tonight?
I think Wayne Hills by a touchdown.
All right, there you have it. Well, that's it from the field. It's now time to send it back to the studio as Adam Kudamati and Joey Stambouli bring you this year's first installment of Breaking Tackles. Adam, take it away.
Thanks, Andrew. Welcome to this year's first edition of Breaking Tackles with Joe Stambouli. I'm Adam Kudamati, and for the remainder of the season, Joe and I will be breaking down each game, giving you, the viewer, an inside look into how the team's preparing each week. So, Joe, welcome, of course, to the first episode. After a 1-2 start to the season, last week you guys got your first win of the year. Junior quarterback Tom Skiba was at QB, and it was 35-7. It was a very convincing win. What do you guys feel like you can do this week to prepare for Pascack Valley?
Well, we've really progressed from our first two games, Demorest and the Passaic Valley losses, which were extremely disappointing to start the season. But we've talked about it, that the Northern Highlands game is the start of our new season, and we started that new season 1-0, and we've really progressed in practice. So going 1-0, that huge win against Northern Highlands was big, and now we got to come back and beat Pascack Valley.
Now, Pascack Valley, they have a ton of key weapons on offense. They have a 2-1 record going into week 4. Their running back named Swatek. What have you guys done defensively to prepare for him? Are there any formations or any certain plays you guys have gotten planned out?
Well, our defense is designed to not only stop him, but their other threats. They've got a very good tight end and a very good wide receiver, and our defense is specifically designed to shut them down, and the quarterback as well. Now, if we all play our part and we all play our position, then I think we should be good on defense.
Good to hear. So, a win versus Pascack Valley, of course, it would be shocking to the entire state of New Jersey. How far do you guys see yourselves going if you do get this win here tonight?
I believe if we beat them, we're on our path to the state championship, and that's our only goal right now in mind, is to get to that state championship, and the only team in our way is Pascack Valley, and once we beat them, I think we're on the road.
That's good to hear. So, Joe, Pascack Valley, they are the defending state champions. They really don't have much more to prove. They just won the state championship, and they're going in here tonight, possibly underestimating you guys. How do you feel the team's going to perform tonight?
I know the team, and I know the coaches know the team. I've seen us play the way we can, like the old teams. We just need that spark that'll ignite the fire. And the pressure's on Pascack Valley, really. You know, they've got to come in here. They've got to get that win. Now, if we shut them out, if we beat them, it's all on them.
Of course.
Pressure's on them.
So, running backs Hogan and Garone, they obviously had huge games last week in the win over Northern Highlands. It was a score of 35-7. And coming in here tonight, what do you think the offense is going to come out with? Do you guys have any certain plays in mind, any trick plays possibly to throw them off their game?
We don't have any trick plays. I think we're going to stick to our original ground and pound game. You know,
Okay.
Last week it was very productive for us with Hogan with over 150 yards rushing and Garone with over 100 yards rushing. Now I feel if Garone and Hogan each get 20 carries each and 5 completions from Skiba, I think we'll win the game. And if we're set on defense, then I think we're good.
Good to hear. So, Coach Stemikoff, how has he prepared you guys mentally or physically this week? Is there anything different that he's done to face such a good opponent?
Well, we've continued to condition, get our stamina up, and we've really practiced knowing what we're going into, what we're going up against, and we have to punch back Pascack Valley as hard as they're going to punch us, because they're going to come out fighting tonight. We've got to fight back harder.
So, on defense, you may have some problems here tonight because of the amount of key weapons that they do have. They've got a bunch of really good offensive players, possibly either going D1 or D2. On defense here tonight, do you guys feel you need to be more physical with them?
100%. I believe that the more physical we are, the more chances and higher success that we're going to win. See, their linemen, what they do is if they miss a block, they move on to the next level and they keep blocking. And now if our linebackers, if our secondary, if they come up and they make plays and they're a lot more physical than their offensive linemen, then we should be making stops all the time.
Gotcha. So, like I said earlier, junior quarterback Tom Skiba, it was just his second start last week. It was a very convincing win, as I said, 35-7. What does Tom Skiba have in his arsenal to get past Pascack Valley here tonight?
Well, Tom Skiba has the option of rolling out and taking everything out of the pocket. He can move with his feet, he can move around the pocket, and he has the arm to get the ball to a designated area that he wants to get it to.
Gotcha.
So I've got faith in Tom.
So, Vinny Laverty, Junior, he had an amazing game last week. I believe it was 3 interceptions, kickoff return for a touchdown to start off the second half. He obviously has a great next season ahead of him. What do you feel he can contribute to the team here tonight? He's got a bunch of potential, and what do you feel he can do?
Well, if Vinny plays the same way he did last week, then I think we're going to be great on defense and great on special teams. Vinny run down the field, making plays, making these 3 interceptions was huge for us last game because those interceptions, they end up in points, and we need to score points.
So, well, that's all the time we have this week, Joe. As we get closer to kickoff, let's take a listen in on Coach Stemikoff in the locker room as he readies his team for battle.
And you need that. Life is tough. It is. And the sooner you learn to be tough, the better. Tonight's your opportunity. Because it's going to be tough in there, I promise you. It's going to be tough. Prove to yourself that you're tough enough to match it, to overcome it. Down the road, that's going to help you somewhere, sometime. I promise you. Because if you lay down when things get tough and you don't fight back, you will do it for the rest of your life. You will. When things get tough at your job, you'll do the same thing. Things get tough at home, you'll do the same thing. Prove to yourself tonight that you're tough no matter what the circumstances are. Prove to yourself that the tougher it is, the more I love it. The harder it is, the more comfortable I am in the situation. That's what you got to do. And I believe everyone in this room can be that tough guy. And that's what we need. 11 tough guys on the field at all times. 11 tough guys on the field at all times. You know, guys, I look at some of you, okay? And I know, all right? I look at Hogan. I know he's going to put everything he has into tonight. No matter what play number it is in the game, no matter how hard it is out there, he is going to slug it out for 15 rounds. And I tell you right now, myself and the staff is going to be doing it with you. I promise you that. No matter how hard it is, no matter what's going on, we're in your corner slugging it out with you. We need the rest of you doing the same thing. We need the rest of you doing the same thing. That's what we need on every play. We need you on every play. We need you on every play. Every play, every play. We get that out of you. If we get that out of you, you'll be better people, we'll be a better team, and tomorrow will be a kick-ass celebration in school. I guarantee you that.
Let's welcome the starting lineup for the Wayne Hills Patriots. Here is their starting defensive team. At defensive end, number 75, Kyle Brackett, number 75. At defensive end, number 73, Matt Sportelli, number 73. At defensive tackle, number 67, Tom Ramsey, number 67. At defensive tackle, number 55, Derek Bastanek, number 55. At defensive end, number 48, LaShawn Askew, number 48. At linebacker, number 49, Joey Stambuli, number 49. At linebacker, number 3, Justin Hogan, number 3. At linebacker, number 32, Joey Kenny, number 32. At linebacker, number 35, Dylan Dox, number 35. At cornerback, number 7, Frank Falzarano, number 7. At free safety, number 9, Vinny Loverdi, number 9. And at cornerback, number 22, Brian Burgess, number 22. And let's welcome the rest of the Patriots squad. And ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the visiting Indians of Pascack Valley High School. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you now please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem, tonight performed by the Wayne Hills Marching Band, along with members of the Schuyler Colfax and Anthony Wayne Middle School 8th grade bands.
Welcome back to Patriots Stadium. Again, I'm alongside Matt Conforti. Now, Matt, we've seen all the pre-games. We've talked about the game so far. But what do you really think is going to be the key tonight for Wayne Hills?
I think tonight for Wayne Hills, they got to establish the run early. I think Justin Hogan and Chris Garone are going to do really well out of the backfield, and if they do that, Wayne Hills is going to put a lot of points up on the board.
I agree completely. Now, I mean, obviously, we can see we got a big crowd tonight. And I asked you before in the pregame, do you think that's really going to play a big part in tonight's win?
I do, yeah. I think the crowd here at Wayne Hills, everybody's coming out to support Wayne Hills. And, them being loud, I think, really will disrupt the Pascack Valley offense.
And I even just said it. I said in the win because I really do believe tonight Wayne Hills was going to establish the run, as you said. And I think tonight maybe Tom Skiba breaks out and really throws the ball deep. You never know. He's got a good arm, and maybe tonight he's going to use it.
Yep.
It's like tonight's captains. We have Justin Hogan, Brian Burgess, Derek Basnick, and Kyle Brackett. And now, Matt, Kyle Brackett, he had an injury so far, right? Do you know any details on that?
He did, yeah. He did have an injury, but I'm looking forward to him getting after the passer tonight at the defensive end position.
And I mean, I guess they probably could use tonight a big pass rusher. I mean, he has that, the ability to make big plays.
Yes, he does. He's very quick off the ball, and, the offensive line better take care of him tonight.
And it looks like we are going to be receiving the kickoff. Now, do you think there's any strategy behind that for Pascack, deferring and giving us the ball?
I do. I think, they're going to want it at the half. That's going to help them out at the second half. But Wayne Hills, I hope they come out here with a good offensive drive.
Absolutely, Matt. Now, tonight's running game for Pascack Valley, we really haven't gotten too much of that. Do you think that's going to play a big role in their offense?
I think it will, but Wayne Hills does have a good front seven. I think they'll be able to, contain, the running game from Pascack Valley for the most part.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Now, last week, Vinny Laverty had a big kickoff return. You think tonight, if he got the game started off with one, it would really spark this crowd?
This crowd would go insane, I think. Vinny Laverty had a great game last week, 3 interceptions. Like you said, he returned a kick for a score, and I hope he does something good again tonight.
And here we have it. We have Vincent Laverty and Chris Garone deep back as the return men tonight. Unless Pascack Valley gets ready to kick off. And our ball game is underway. It's a short kick here, fielded at the 20-yard line. Brought up by number 1, Anthony Vigorito, who's going to make a move and going to bring it out to about the 29-yard line.
It's a solid return from Vigorito, who also plays baseball. I think Wayne Hills is in pretty good field position here. Tom Skiba will lead this offense down the field.
Now, would you be surprised if Wayne Hills' first play of the game brings out a pass?
I would, because they only threw the ball 8 times last week, completing only 1 pass. But I do think that they'll be more efficient in that aspect of the game tonight.
Okay. Looks like Wayne Hills has the play. And tonight's quarterback is Tom Skiba tonight. Skiba under center has a man in motion, and they're going to hand it off to Chris Garone, who is going to be stopped for a short gain of maybe 1-2 yards.
It's a great job by the Pascack Valley defense, stopping the run. They knew that's the game plan coming out of the gate from the Wayne Hills offense. Short gain on the play.
It's going to be 2nd and 8. Skiba's going to take the snap, and he's going to hand it off to Chris Garone again. Chris Garone has a big hole, and he's going to plow his way to about the 39-yard line.
Good job there by the Wayne Hills offensive line, opening up a nice hole for Garone. Nice gain on the play.
And number 28, Rocco Swatek.
And that looks like it's going to break up a 3rd and short distance.
And about 2.
Put a man in motion. And it looks like false start on the Patriots.
Flag prior to the snap.
Offensive line, they got to be better with that. The whole offense does, and I think they will clean it up.
Yeah, and I said that in pregame before. I said, hey, penalties have to stop. I mean, we saw a lot of flags being thrown last week.
And I'm sure they did address that in practice this week, and I'm looking forward to seeing an improvement in that in tonight's game.
Me too. It's going to be third down again for the Patriots. Looks like Skeeb's going to hand it off again, and Chris Garone is going to try to get around the edge, but is stopped. Picked up about 3 yards there, and it looks like it might bring up a punt for the Patriots.
Down by number 57, Jimmy Albertus.
The offense has established the run early, and the defense looks like it's all over it so far.
Skiba back to punt.
Skiba will punt for the Patriots. Mike Pimpinella, number 21.
And number 21, Mike Pimpinella, will be back to return for the Indians. The snap to Skiba. He's going to get it off, and he shanked that one, going out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
Well, not the way Wayne Hills really wanted to start off this game, but Pascack, we'll see how Wayne Hills plays defense against Pascack Valley.
Now, do you think, Pascack Valley just made a nice stop. They didn't really allow any really first downs there. They stopped. Right every time they had, try to set up the run, they stopped it. Do you think that's going to carry over to their offense?
I do, but I do have a lot of faith in the Wayne Hills defense, but Pascack Valley did look good on that last defensive drive. They looked like they were all over the run, which is the strong suit for Wayne Hills offense.
Colin Diedrich's going to be the quarterback for the Indians. He's going to hand it off to Swatek, who is going to be swallowed up behind the line.
Justin Hogan coming off the ball beautifully, making the play at the line of scrimmage. Great job by the Wayne Hills defense.
Now, Rocco Swatek, I've heard a lot about this kid. What do you think he's going to be doing tonight against this Patriot defense?
Well, I don't know, but all I know is that the Wayne Hills defense better be ready for him. They got a good unit on defense, and I'm looking forward to seeing their defensive schemes.
Diedrich's going to be under center, and he's going to hand it off on a toss play to Swatek, who's going to break a couple tackles and bring it up to about the 49-yard line.
It's a nice game from Pascack Valley.
It's going to bring up a third down situation here.
Now, I know that Wayne Hills did have a 3-and-out on their last offensive drive, but if they come out here and make Pascack Valley punt, it's a good indicator that both defenses are going to be factors in this game.
I agree 100%. Diedrich under center. Put a man in motion. He's going to fake it, play action here, and he's going to dump it off to number 11, Greg Collier, and he is their tight end and also a captain on their team.
That's a great job by the Pascack Valley offensive play action. Was a beautiful play call in that situation. Wayne Hills was all over the run in the beginning, and Pascack Valley threw off Hills a little bit on that play.
And that's what they do. They set up the run, and, that can sometimes get the defense sleeping. Do you agree with that?
That's right. I think we just saw a little bit there, but I think Wayne Hills is going to respond with a big play here.
Okay. Looks like Diedrich's trying to maybe audible here. Take the snap. He's going to hand it off, and it looks like we have a penalty on the play. False start on the Indians, so that could be a big break for the Patriots.
Yes it is.
Penalties can be the Achilles heel for some teams.
That's right. That's right. They got to clean it up. Both sides so far have committed a penalty.
It's going to bring up a first down situation again for the Indians. Going to be pushed back a couple yards.
First and 15 on the 41.
It's going to be first and 15 at the 41-yard line. And it looks like there is going to be a neutral zone infraction on the Patriots.
And the sloppy play continues so far in this game.
Offside against the Patriots.
Correction, an offside penalty.
Not the way Wayne Hills wanted to start off this defensive.
6-yard line, 1st and 10 Indians.
So that pretty much erases the penalty. Be 1st and 10 for the Indians. And they're going to hand it off and stay with Swatek, who's going to plow his way to about the 28-yard line.
It's a nice run there from Pascack Valley.
38-yard line, correction.
Tackled by number 67, Tom Ramsey, and number 49, Joey Stambouli.
Ramsey and Stambouli on that last tackle.
2nd and 6.
It's going to be 2nd down at the 32-yard line. Looks like they're going to do another play action here. Dudek's going to be sacked, and he's going to be brought down.
That's a great job by the Wayne Hills defense. That's LaShawn Askew on the sack. Great pass rush.
And that's junior LaShawn Askew. And, I mean, I've been talking to him during the week, and he's ready for this game.
Yes, he is. He was pumped up today in school, and it showed on that last play. He got after the quarterback very well.
That's going to bring up a 3rd and long situation for the Indians. And the shotgun formation, you're just going to look, and he's going to dump it off, and it is going to be intercepted by the Wayne Hills defense.
That's a great play by Wayne Hills. Tremendous job by the defense, making a stand right there and getting a turnover.
And that's a really big momentum shifter because, I mean, now the Patriots have ball in very good field position, almost at the 50-yard line. And, I mean, a couple plays here and there. I mean, they could have this ball within the red zone.
Absolutely. And now I think Tom Ski was going to lead a good drive right here.
Looks like Garone's going to be back in at running back. Skip is going to give it to Garone, who's going to try to fight his way for about 1 to 2 yards on that carry.
Short gain right there, but Wayne Hills is sticking with the ground and pound mentality on offense. Garone with another carry for a couple yards.
Dimitri Davidoff. Pickup of 2, 2nd and 8.
And that's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 situation for the Patriots.
I know Wayne Hills does like to run the ball, but I would like to see a pass in this situation.
Going to put a man in motion. That's number 9, Vinny Laverty. And they're going to hand it off again to Garone. Garone has a hole. He's breaking tackles being brought down at the 47-yard line.
That is a great job by the Wayne Hills offensive line, making a great hole for Chris Garone. A nice gain right there and big momentum changer for this Wayne Hills team.
That's going to pick up the 1st down for Wayne Hills.
Patriots on the Indian 46.
Now they're in Pascack Valley territory.
And it all starts with a good offensive line.
That's right. They did a great job right there.
So first set of downs for the Patriots. Tom Skiba under center is going to put a man in motion again, Vinny Laverty, and he's going to hand it off again to Garone, who's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a great job by Pascack Valley, all over the run.
That's going to bring up another 2nd down situation for the Patriots. A loss of 2 on the play.
2nd and 12.
I'd like to see a play action here from Wayne Hills. Pascack Valley really utilized their play action last drive.
That's going to bring up a 2nd and 12 situation. So he's going to take the ball, and he is going to pass it. He's looking, rolling out, and he's going to hit Joey Kenny for looks to see about the 40-yard line.
That's a great job by the Wayne Hills offense. Tom Skiba completes the pass to Joey Kenny.
And he's another player, Matt. When we were talking in pregame, we were talking about Joe Kenny. Joe Kenny brings a lot to this football team.
He really does. He's a great athlete. He's big, he's strong, and he's fast, and he could do that. He can make great catches down the field, moving the chains here.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 situation for the Patriots. So they have Laverty split out wide. And they're going to give it off to Hogan. And Hogan looks like he has the first down. No call yet.
Number 3, Justin Hogan on the carry. Tackled by
And it
number
looks like he's
46,
going to be
number
short
3,
of the first down. It's going to be 4th and about a yard for the Patriots.
Official timeout for a measurement.
And they're going to bring out the chains here to measure it.
Well, like we talked about in the pregame, I like when they give the ball to Justin Hogan. Not one person can bring him down. It takes a few people on the defense to bring down Justin Hogan, and they got to give him the ball more, in my opinion.
And Matt, I'm excited. I mean, I've seen a Wayne Hills defense that's hungry. I mean, LaShawn Askew with a great defensive play, getting the sack on the quarterback. And I mean, that, I believe, is really what Wayne Hills has to do. They have to set the tone. And in all sports, regardless of what you're playing, setting the tone early can really help you win the game.
And the interception really topped it off, and it's all because of the pass rushers getting there, forced the quarterback to get rid of the football when he wasn't comfortable, and that's why Wayne Hills had the interception.
And that's going to bring up a 4th and inches situation here. Now, Matt, if you were a coach, would you send your punting unit out there, or would you go for it?
I'd go for it. It's early, and I'd like to show Pascack Valley we're not afraid to run some plays in 4th down.
It'll be interesting to see what Coach Demikoff decides to do right now. He has a lot of plays. He's got a lot of. He can use Chris Garone. He can use Justin Hogan, or he can even have Skiba roll out and maybe try to run for it.
You're right. He does have a lot of weapons on that Wayne Hills offense, and we'll see how he utilizes them right in this big situation early in the game.
Looks like they're going to have 2 receivers split out to the left and put a man in motion. He's going to run across, and they're going to give it to Hogan, and the ball pops out, and it is going to be picked up by Tom Skiba, who looks like he may have picked up and gotten the first down. No call yet, and it is going to be short, and it's going to be a turnover on downs.
Well, it could have been worse right there at the fumble. Luckily for Wayne Hills, they recovered right there.
Yeah, and I mean, if that ball were to go into Pascack Valley's hands, I mean, you never know. Scoop and score. I mean, that could really be devastating.
That's right. Big momentum changer almost.
And it looks like they're going to measure again and see if Justin had it. Actually, I should say, correction, Skiba had it. I mean, he got the fumble recovery from his own man.
Just the way the ball bounces.
And that sometimes can be the difference between a win and a loss. They're going to bring the chains out. Do you think he got it?
I do. Yes, I do.
And it looks like he was short Pascack Valley ball at the 34-yard line.
Now this Wayne Hills defense has to respond with a big stop here. They got the turnover last drive, and now I'm looking for a 3-and-out here from this Wayne Hills defense.
Me too. I mean, they played very well so far on defense. I mean, causing big plays, getting an interception. I mean, that's what you got to want if you're a coach.
Yes, they have. And I'd like to see some more pass rush from LaShawn Askew.
That's going to be 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Going to be pass here, and it's going to be broken up on the coverage. Frank Falzarano.
That's a great job by number 7 from Wayne Hills, Frank Falzarano. Excellent play, 2nd down coming up.
And that pass was intended to Greg Collier, who's a captain and also a senior on this team, who I'm expecting from him, they're going to throw him the ball. I mean, he's their captain. He's a senior. I think he has something to prove tonight against his Wayne Hills defense.
He is. He's a very dynamic player on that Indian offense, and we'll see how Wayne Hills responds. Falzarano does a great job right there.
Looks like Diedrich has the play. Take the snap. And he's going to hand it off to Swatek again, who's going to be stopped for little to no gain.
Wayne Hills all over the run.
Correction, that was Jorge Cortez, another running back in this Pascack Valley offense.
Well, both teams have a lot of weapons, and that's what makes it interesting tonight.
And that's going to bring up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 9 situation for the Pascack Valley Indians.
Well, defenses love the situation. 3rd and long, you can do just about anything. And we'll see what this Wayne Hills defense will do here.
Diedrich under center. Going to take the ball, and he's going to hand it off to number 27, who is going to break some tackles. And it looks like he's going to pick up the first down. That is Jorge Cortez. A gain of 11.
That's a great job by Cortez. Gain of 11, like you said, on the play. Couple missed tackles by Wayne Hills, and that'll hurt them if they continue to play like that on defense.
First down, Indians.
A lot of times, after that running back gets through the initial line, the first level of defense, they call it, sometimes he can break open into open space and he can be gone.
That's right, and this Wayne Hills defense, they have a lot of good players, so I was surprised to see that.
It's going to be first down for the Indians. They're going to hand it off again to Cortez, who looks like he's going to be tackled at about the 50-yard line.
Jorge Cortez on the carry.
There's the Wayne Hills defense that we know, stopping the run.
Number 49,
Going to break up a second down situation.
That was Joe Stambouli, number 49, on the tackle, outside linebacker.
Again, another guy we were talking about in pregame.
That's right. He's a junior. He's tough. He's quick off the ball right there. You saw it. That was a great play, stopping the run.
It's going to be second down. Diedrich under center. He's going to put a man in motion. Diedrich's going to play action. He's looking deep. And he's going to throw it over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete.
Diedrich's pass intended for
Good job there by Wayne Hills.
incomplete.
I like how they're using the play action, but Wayne Hills was all over at that time.
And that play was intended to Jack Madden, a captain and senior of this Pascack Valley team.
Another great weapon on offense for Pascack Valley.
In a game like this, you can't just account for one player. You know, you got to look at the entire field because they can spread guys out, as we've seen so far.
That's right. If you keep your eyes on Cortez, then you never know. Maybe Madden will beat you on that play.
And that's going to bring up a third down situation here. Junior's going to take the ball, and he's going to survey the field, and he's going to pass it incomplete over the head of his receiver, and that's going to bring up a fourth down situation for the Indians.
That's Vinny Laverty on the coverage, number 9, who, like we said before, had a great game last week. 3 interceptions, and he returned a kick for a score. Right there, good coverage on that pass.
And that's going to bring out the Indians punting unit. And
Vinny
Vinny Laverty,
the punt.
it's his birthday. He's excited. He's going to be back to return this punt tonight.
I'm sure he's pumped up. I'm sure he wants to do something special just like he did last week.
And that ball is going to be fair caught, looks like, by Laverty, who's going to bobble it, but luckily he's going to regain coverage of the ball.
Good break there from Wayne Hills. A muff punt, but Laverty quick enough to be all over it.
His own fumble. First and 10 Patriots on their own 29.
And that's going to be first and 10 at the Patriots at their own 29-yard line.
I liked last drive how Wayne Hills did. They came right out of the gate with the running game. Everybody knows they're going to run the ball. They got a lot of good backs, a lot of good backfield, and I'd like to see some more of that.
He was going to take snap under center. He's going to give it to Garone again, who was going to try to salvage his way to about the 31-yard line.
On the carry.
It's a nice little pickup right there for Wayne Hills.
Tackled by number 21.
Good job by the line. Decent push.
And number 46.
And Garone had a big game last week, scoring a touchdown. And I think that they're going to try to, as we've seen so far, correct me if I'm not, Matt, but just stick with the run.
Stick with the run. It works, Ground and pound mentality, like we said before. They got a lot of good weapons in that backfield. You may as well use them against this good defense of Pascack Valley.
Skiba's going to put a man in motion. And he's going to hand it off to Justin Hogan, who has a hole. And he's going to break tackles, getting his way up to about the 35-yard line.
The good old fullback run. Nobody really expects it. Fullbacks usually are there to block, but I like how they use Justin Hogan to carry the ball once in a while out of the backfield.
And that's going to bring up a third down situation for the Patriots.
Hogan, like we said in the pregame, had a great game last week. 10 carries, 144 yards, and a touchdown.
Looks like they're going to have only one receiver split out wide. Steve's going to take the ball and he's going to hand it to Garone. Garone's going to be stopped behind the line. And it looks like a late flag is going to be called. And it looks like there's a player with the helmet off.
The tackle penalty marker is down.
Yeah, Andrew, 46 on Pascack Valley does have his helmet off.
And that's Dmitry Davidoff, who unnecessary roughness call here could really help out the Patriots.
That's right. It's a good momentum changer here for this Patriots team.
And it looks like we're awaiting the call from the officials here. And it looks like it is going to be on the Indians. So that is a big momentum shifter, if I'm not right, Matt.
No, absolutely. Wayne Hills here. That's a big momentum changer. This crowd is getting pumped up here. They want to see some action out of this Wayne Hills offense. I think they're going to put some points up on the board.
And personal fouls. We talked about penalties. Penalties will either decide who wins the game and who doesn't.
That's right. They can be deadly. So far, we've seen them from both teams.
He was going to give it off to Hogan, and Hogan has a hole. He's going to break out of the side, down the 40, the 30, the 20, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 18-yard line, but there is a flag on the play, so we're awaiting the official's call here.
That's a great job by Justin Hogan. He sees that the middle is clogged, and he kicks it back outside. You don't really see that from a fullback, but that's a great play by number 3 from the Patriots.
And if this play is called back, Matt, this could be devastating from the Patriots.
That's right. It absolutely will be devastating. That was a great play by Justin Hogan, number 3.
It looks like the officials are huddling around to try to get this call right.
Been a lot of flags thrown so far. Both teams would like to clean that up.
And we talked about that. You can't have penalties on every other play. You got to try to play penalty-free football.
Now when you're playing these teams, you know, you're right. You can't make the penalties.
And the official taking a long time to get this one right. It looks like they have the call. And it is going to be holding against the Patriots. Correction, illegal block in the back against the Patriots. And that's going to bring that great run right back.
Yeah, that is devastating. It was a tremendous run by Justin Hogan, but all for nothing here.
So it's going to bring up another first down situation for the Patriots.
Replay the down, 1st and 8.
And they will replay that down, and it's going to bring up a 1st and 8 situation.
Not many 1st and 8 situations, but Wayne Hill's looking to capitalize right here.
They have one receiver split out wide. Skiba under center. Going to take the snap, and he's going to hand it right back to Justin Hogan, who is going to be stopped as soon as he made contact with the other defender.
You got to give credit right there, Andrew. The Pascack Valley Indian defense right there. They're all over Justin Hogan on that carry.
And the defensive line. I mean, they have their linebackers coming up. They're really trying to do a good job of trying to stop Justin Hogan.
It's a great job. They sent pressure right there, like you said. You know, that defense that made an excellent play right there.
And it looks like the Patriots are going to try to get one more playoff before this end of this quarter. He was going to take the ball, and he is going to hand it off to Garone. Garone has this hole, and he's going to pick up the first down. A gain of about 12 yards on the play.
Great play call from Wayne Hills. They've been going up the middle with the run, and now they kick it back outside like they did with Justin Hogan with the play that called back. Pascack Valley was not ready for it, and Wayne Hills gets the first down.
And that's going to stop the clock. And it's going to bring up a first down situation for the Patriots.
First down, Patriots.
Now they think that the Patriots are going to let it wind down, and they are. Well, that's a quarter from Patriot Stadium. Score, Wayne Hill 0, Pascack Valley 0. We'll be right back after a short break. And welcome back. Like Chris Garone's going to be on the carry. He's going to be hit initially and drove back, maybe a gain about 1 yard on that play.
Number 23.
Another good job by the Pascack Valley running defense. That's a great play. Garone only picks up a yard on the carry.
Now, scoreline, Matt, 0-0 after one quarter. Wayne Hills looks really good, even considering that they're the underdogs tonight.
Absolutely, they are the underdogs. And you know what? I think Wayne Hill's going to come out of here with a victory if they keep running the ball effectively like they did with Garone and Hogan. And I do think if the defense continues to play well, Wayne Hills could come out here with a win.
We're going to have one receiver out wide. Skiba's going to take the ball, and he's going to hand it off to Justin Hogan, who is going to be stopped for about a gain of 2 yards.
Pascack Valley again doing a great job stopping the run. Wayne Hills has established that in the first quarter, and now they're doing a great job stopping it.
And that's going to bring up a third down situation for the Patriots.
Andrew, I think you have to throw the ball here, honestly. I mean, they have a great couple running backs, but they've been getting to him on this drive. I'd like to see Skiba throw the ball here.
I agree.
Third and about 7.
That's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 situation for the Patriots here. They have 2 receivers split out wide. And they're going to look like they're going to drop back. And Skiba's going to pass it deep down the sideline, but it's going to be incomplete, bringing up a 4th down for the Patriots.
I like the play call right there, but Tom Skiba just overthrew him. Attended for Frank Falzarano right there going up the sideline.
And what we've just seen there is Skiba has an arm.
He does.
Obviously, he overthrew the man, but in a situation like that, I mean, a pass there, I like the play call.
Absolutely. That was a great job by Wayne Demikoff and his staff here. And I too like the play call.
Skiba looks like he's set. It's going to be a booming punt from Tom Skiba, and looks like it's going to fall into the end zone for a touchback.
And Wayne Hills would like to continue. A good job here on defense. They'd like to stop the run here. That'd help out Wayne Hills a lot. Try to get the ball back to their offense.
And they look good. I mean, both sides. I mean, offense, obviously the penalties have been their Achilles heel. But the defense, I mean, what have you seen so far that makes them show that they're really contenders for this game?
Well, I've seen on both sides, not just Wayne Hills, both sides. Pascack Valley and Wayne Hills have both done a great job of stopping the run. Both 2 good running teams. I think run-first offenses is the term, and they've done a great job stopping each other with the run.
And Diedrich is under center, and he's going to hand it off to, it looks like, Cortez for a gain about 2 yards.
It's been a theme so far in this game. Great job stopping the run by Wayne Hills.
Now, what's odd is that we have Rocco Swatek, who usually is their running back, and we've talked about all week. Now, they have Jorge Cortez in. Do you think that maybe Swatek may be hurt, or do you think this is just a package they have designed against this Wayne Hills team?
I honestly do think it's a package they designed against this Wayne Hills team. I think they have 2 good weapons. I think they realize they have 2 good weapons at Pascack Valley, and they're trying to utilize both of them here in this game.
Diedrich's going to be on his center. So play action here, and he's going to survey the field. He's going to hit a man over the middle, down the 40-yard line, and he's going to take it to about the 48-yard line into Patriot territory.
That's a great read by the quarterback Collar. Great job there.
And Greg Collier, another name we've heard. They've called his number many times, and he's delivered so far.
That's right, and Wayne Hills has definitely game planned around him all week. I think he's been their main focus on defense during practice.
I agree, Matt. Looks like Patriots are showing blitz here. Looks like he's going to hand it off to the fullback, who has a hole, and he's going to be breaking into open territory and taken down at the Patriot 28-yard line. And that was number 32, Josh Belmonte, another senior, a very old Pascack Valley team you see here.
They do, and it helps right now to have a lot of seniors, but next year, the juniors and sophomores will have to step up next year, but that's a great run right there by Pascack Valley.
And that's going to bring a fresh set of downs for the Indians. We're going to have 2 wide receivers split out wide. Diedrich's going to hand it off to Cortez, who's going to plow his way to about the 22-yard line.
Another good gain out of the backfield from Pascack Valley. I think Wayne Hills is a little weary now of the play action because Pascack Valley has shown that. And Wayne Hills has given up some big gains here on the ground.
It's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 for the Indians in Patriot territory.
Great drive put together so far by Pascack Valley, looking to capitalize on it right now.
He's going to hand it off to Cortez, who's going to be stopped for little to no gain on that play.
That's a great push by the Wayne Hills defensive line. Great play by them. Looks like 55, Derek Bastanik and Tom Ramsey on the tackle.
Now, a 3rd down situation here. I really think the crowd has to get up on their feet and really try to rally the troops on defense.
Absolutely, I think you're right. The crowd should be doing that right now. They got to pump up this Patriot defense to get a big stop right now.
It's going to be 3rd and about 4 for the Indians. Diedrich under center. And it looks like a false start. And what a break for the Patriots.
Absolutely, they give up a couple big plays in a row. And then they came back with that nice tackle before, and this is a good job. Good job. This is a.
It's a good. They have good momentum going for the Patriots. Yeah.
That's what I meant.
And that's going to be another momentum shifter. And we talked about it again, and I keep repeating myself. I sound like a broken record, but it's true. Penalties, penalty after penalty. I mean, both sides have shown that so far they played some sloppy football.
Absolutely. It's been a sloppy game so far here today, and Pascack Valley and Wayne Hills have both committed their fair share of penalties, like we've said.
It's going to be 3rd and long for the Indians. And the crowd is on their feet. Dietrich's going to put a man in motion. And he's going to hand it off to Cortez, who's going to break a tackle. And it looks like he doesn't have enough for the 1st down.
Nice call right there from Pascack Valley. The draw play, an excellent run play. Cortez, a nice game, but I don't think he had enough for the 1st down. Stambuli brought him down.
And that was Joe Stambuli on the tackle. But now, Matt, you're Pascack Valley. What do you do here? Do you say, let me see if the Patriot defense is serious and they can stop us, or do you just take the points? I mean, this looks like they're in field goal position. We haven't seen their kickers so far. Do you think they kick it or go for it?
Right now, if I was Pascack Valley, I would kick it and take the points. I think both defenses have shown that they can, stop them when they're on defense, and the field goals will help.
100%. And you want to take points every time you can. I mean, we've seen games before. I mean, last week was a little out of ordinary. A blowout, which, I mean, in Wayne Hills, we've seen a lot of blowouts in previous years. But last week, I don't really think the kicking was really a factor for both sides. I think there was all touchdowns. I really didn't see our kicker besides point-after attempts. Everything else was all ground and pound.
I think you're right. 35-7 was the final score last week if you watch Wayne Hills beat Northern Highlands, and you're right. I don't remember a single field goal in the entire game.
And what this is really showing is how Wayne Hills, from week 1, when they were at Demarest and they lost a heartbreaker, really just bounced back. I mean, now, I think, though, that having home field advantage is going to really play to the Patriots. I mean, obviously, they've lost a member of this coaching staff, John Goldstein, and I feel that last week, that when they heard his name and the remembrance of him, that it just it pumped them up and it got them ready for the game last week, and it showed.
Absolutely. John Goldstein, obviously, just a tremendous mentor for Wayne Hills student athletes everywhere, and just students in general. He's a great guy, and he will absolutely be missed. And I think you're right. That did spark a little something in the heads of the Wayne Hills athletes last week.
Well, it looks like the Indians are going to keep their offense on the field, and this crowd looks like they're going to get into it. And, I mean, they're hoping for a big stop from the Patriots defense here, right?
Absolutely, and I think Wayne Hills will stop them.
It's going to be 4th and short. He's going to hand it off. No, play action over the middle, and it is going to be incomplete. A turnover on downs.
A great job there by the Wayne Hills secondary. Falzarano broke up the pass right through the hands of the Pascack Valley receiver. And now Wayne Hills is set up.
But again, Greg Collier, we've heard his name called a bunch of times. That's a guy, if you're Wayne Hills, that you gotta be game planning for. I mean, obviously making adjustments during the game can win you games, don't you think?
Absolutely, it absolutely can. I mean, you can't game plan around one player, but he is a very good player, and I think Wayne Hills has shut him down for the most part.
It looks like the Patriots are going to take over at their own 23-yard line, 1st and 10. Steve is going to hand it off, and it looks like Garone's going to have a hole, and Garone is actually going to be stopped.
Garone on the carry.
It's going to be like a gain of 1 yard.
It's a great job by the Pascack Valley defense. I mean, I'll say it again. There's been a theme here. You know, the rushing defense has been tremendous on both sides of the ball. Pascack Valley stops him right there.
And that was Rocco Swatek, who was the running back in the beginning of the game, and now looks like he's just primarily playing linebacker position.
Absolutely, and you know, Pascack Valley has shown that he is a big factor to this team on both sides of the ball tonight.
And that's going to bring up a 2nd down for the Patriots. And they're going to toss it off to Garone. Garone has a hole, and he's going to bring it up to about the 31-yard line. A nice pickup.
I love the toss play in that situation. Good play call by Wayne Hills. Good pickup by Garone, and now Wayne Hills is a 3rd down situation.
Now 3rd down here. We've seen Skiba. We've seen the arm he has. Do you stick with the ground and pound, or do you try to air it out?
I do not. I try to throw it right here. I mean, Skiba, you know, he's been okay, throwing the ball today. He has not completed, the last possession. He hasn't really completed a pass, but, you know, he's trying here, and he's going to complete a pass here.
Well, we'll see what Coach Dembikoff has called for this play. They're going to put a man in motion. It's going to be number 9, Vinny Laverty, and they're going to hand it off to Chris Garone, who looks like he's trying to get the 1st down, but it's going to be short.
Garone again on the carry.
Garone again on the carry. You know, they really utilizing both their backs. Chris Garone mostly out of the backfield tonight for Wayne Hills.
And it looks like that's going to bring up a 4th down for the Patriots and another official timeout for another measurement.
Yeah, it's been a tight game so far. You know, no score so far in this game. That just goes to show, you know, the tight defense both teams have been playing.
And also, I mean, this game is flying. Both teams have run the ball. There's 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in this quarter. So, I mean, you got to think this at this pace of this game that, you know, it's 0-0. Do you try to maybe just go deep or try maybe a trick play?
I would try to go deep here if I was Wayne Hills. Yes, I don't think Pascack Valley would be expecting that type of pass, and I think Wayne Hills would be all right if they try to throw a deep ball.
And that's going to bring up a 3rd and inches situation for the Patriots here. Now again, do you try to keep it on the ground or do you try to pass it here?
I try to pass it here because, you know, I honestly do believe Pascack Valley is expecting the run. So to throw them off, if I was Wayne Hills, I'd try to throw the ball, try to air it out down the field.
I don't know. I'm a man who loves to see a good running back, and I think that if you hand it off to maybe Justin Hogan or Chris Garone, you could pick it up. It's going to bring up a 4th down situation for the Patriots. Steve's going to try to get them off sides, but it's not going to work. It's going to be a timeout, Patriots.
Timeout, Patriots.
Now, Matt, you see that play a lot in the NFL. You see elite quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees. They try to do the hard count, try to get guys off sides. And I mean, I've seen Andrew Luck on Sundays do it better than anybody else. Do you think in a high school game, things like that are really going to make the difference between a win or a loss?
I do. I absolutely do because, you know, the defense is antsy, and I think that a veteran quarterback being, you know, a senior or somebody that's been on the varsity level for a couple years now, I do think, you know, that will absolutely get the defense off.
Sunrise Bagels, Tap House.
Now, 4th down here. Do you punt it or do you go for it?
I punt it because I have faith in the Wayne Hills defense. They'll get a stop when Pascack Valley has the ball. I would punt it.
I have to agree because, Matt, I've seen this offense. They can get a 1st down, but the defense has looked spectacular. I mean, they've barely let up any yards. A couple big plays, but also a couple penalties from Pascack Valley have brought the plays back. So, I mean, I would be surprised here if they don't punt it. And indeed, they are going to go out and punt it.
Yeah, that's all about having faith in this Patriot defense. You know, they've been getting after the passer today. They do have a turnover, and I'd like to see some more of that, and so will Demikoff and the Wayne Hills staff.
Jack Madden is deep for the Pascack Valley Indians to return this punt. Skiba kicks it, And it looks like it's going to be fielded at about the 31-yard line, picked up by Madden. Madden has a seam. He's going to break it outside, tries to make a move, and Madden is down the sidelines and is going to be pushed out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
Great extra effort there by Pascack Valley's Madden. He could have stepped out of bounds, but no, he went for another 5, 6, 7 yards right there down the sideline. Great effort by Madden.
And that's going to be a gain of about 20 yards on that punt return.
Now Wayne Hills has come out here and get a stop.
Ball spotted on the Patriot 47.
And now, if you're Pascack Valley, do you play conservative or do you try to go deep?
Right here, we're 4 minutes and 6 seconds, left in the half. I try to play conservative football, try to get into goal range, and try to get 3 points if I was Pascack Valley.
Diedrich under center, and he's going to hand it off to the fullback, and the fullback's going to plow his way for a first down, Indians.
Well, both fullbacks have had big impacts in this game. Obviously, Wayne Hills had Justin Hogan, number 46 from Pascack Valley right there. Had a nice game.
And that was Dimitri Davidoff, number 46, who we've seen him had, I think, 1 or 2 other carries, and they've both been big plays.
Absolutely. This offensive line, both offensive lines are doing great jobs for their respected offenses, and, both backs have a lot of room to run so far here today.
Diedrich under center is going to try to draw the Patriots offside. He's going to hand it off to Cortez, and Cortez is going to try to get his way, and it looks like he does pick up the first down. So correction, there was not a first down on that play before. He was just short, but that run right there picked up the first down. Is going to move the chains.
Great job by Cortez coming out of the backfield, getting the first down. That's big for this Pascack Valley Indian offense.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Indians.
The ball spotted on the Patriot.
He was tackled by junior linebacker number 32, Joey Kenny.
And that's going to bring the ball at the Patriot 35. So would you say maybe 20 more yards, 10 more yards, 15 yards until field goal range?
I'd say 15. 15 yards till goal range, and I think Pascack Valley's going to come away with 3 points here.
Diedrich's going to look like he's going to play action here, and he's going to go again to number 11, Greg Kohler, and they've called his name many times, and Wayne Hills have had answers for it.
Yes, they have, and the answer's been Frank Falzarano. He's played great in that secondary, going one-on-one. That was another great play, another pass defense by Falzarano.
And it's going to bring up a 2nd down situation for the Indians.
Yeah, Wayne Hills, they have to get a stop here. They already have a turnover in this game. Another one will be icing on the cake for this first half.
Well said, Matt. Diedrich's going to take the ball under center. And it looks like he's going to play action here, and he's going to hit a man over the middle, and it's going to be tipped. Great play by number 9, Vinny Laverty.
Nearly intercepted by last week's hero. That's right, Vinny Laverty, number 9 on the pass defense. This Wayne Hills secondary has played tremendous along with the other levels of this defense.
And if you're Coach Demikoff, you have to be happy with this defensive performance so far.
Absolutely. The offense, I don't know, maybe they're struggling. Maybe the passing game's not as, as good as they hoped for, but the run game's been there, and this defense has really kept Wayne Hills in this game.
Looks like we're going to have 2 receivers split out wide on the right-hand side. Diedrich's going to look like he's going to hand it off to number 28, Rocco Swatek, who's going to take it to about the Patriot 29-yard line.
Good pickup there from Swatek. Wayne Hills may have been, Tom Skiba on the tackle. Wayne Hills might have been, expecting the play action right there where they came up and made the tackle.
Now 4th and 4 here. Looks like the Indians are going to go for it. Now, what does that say about their faith in their kicker?
Maybe they're not as, confident in their kicker as Wayne Hills is in Amir Kaya, but, Pascack Valley, maybe they're just that much confident in their offense.
I mean, it would be a pretty long field goal here, so let's see what the Indians have in store. And it looks like a timeout is going to be called by the Indians.
I agree with that. Maybe, maybe some personnel issues. Maybe Coach Nielsen, sent the wrong guys out. Maybe he would like to kick the field goal here.
And now, bringing up Coach Nielsen, we've seen him here a lot. He's played Wayne Hills, and they've had some really good battles in the past. Do you think his veteran attitude towards the game and just knowing Wayne Hills as a program really plays into his game planning for the week?
Absolutely, like you said, he's definitely played Wayne Hills in the past. They've had good battles, and, I think he is ready for this challenge against a good defense in Wayne Hills.
Yeah, I mean, what I've seen so far from their defense is just a team that they really want to win. They really want to set the tone on the defense to give their offense really good starting field position.
Absolutely. I think that's been a story for both teams today. Like we said, there's no score here in the game with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the first half. And this Wayne Hills defense looking for a stop.
And it's going to be 4th down, and the crowd is up on their feet. Going to be play action here. Diedrich looks like he's going to have a man incomplete over his head, and that's going to be a turnover on down.
That's a great job by senior linebacker Justin Hogan applying the pressure, making the quarterback uncomfortable, and he gets rid of the ball. A little off timing right there by Pascack Valley. Great job by the Hills defense.
And it looks like number 58, Jake Podva, was shaken up on the play.
Yes, you're right. He's limping off the field, but we hope he's okay here.
So now, 2 minutes left in the half. You have your 2-minute offense out there. Do you try to play conservative, like I said, for Pascack Valley, or do you try to go for the throat and get the touchdown here?
I try to get the touchdown right here if I was Wayne Hills, get some good, solid momentum going into halftime because, you love to put some points up on the board before the half.
Steve Bonner center. He's going to take it, and he's going to hand it off to Justin Hogan. Justin Hogan breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and it's going to be taken down at about the 39-yard line.
Justin Hogan breaking tackles. What else is new? Keep feeding him the ball.
And that's going to bring up a fresh set of downs for the Patriots.
First down, Patriots. On the Patriot
That's a great way to start off an offensive drive. Justin Hogan coming right out of the gate, out of the backfield, coming out with a first down, breaking some tackles. Great momentum here for the Wayne Hills offense.
So first set of downs for the Patriots. Skiba's going to take the ball, and there's a bobble snap, and Skiba picks it up. And it looks like maybe salvages 1 yard.
Yeah, it's better than incompletion, I guess. 1 yard, to Wayne Hills was lucky on that one to recover it.
When that ball is out, sometimes it could take a bad bounce. Guys kicking it around. You gotta wonder whether that was just on a bad snap or maybe just a miscommunication.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with miscommunication on that one. Might have been a bad snap, but now Wayne Hills is looking to get some yards here.
That's gonna be a second and about 9 yards here for the Patriots. And they're going to hand it off to Garone. Garone's going to plow his way to about the 37-yard line. Pick up about 3 yards on the play.
Now right here, if I was Wayne Hills, I would throw the ball right here. The clock is winding down, about 40 seconds left here in the half. To put some points on the board, I think you got to air the ball out.
And I think Skiba has the arm to do it.
Absolutely. He's shown that he has a couple incompletions, but he's thrown the ball far down the field, down the sideline. He's got a nice touch tonight. I think, they're going to put some points up because of his arm tonight.
All right, Skiba under center. He's going to take the ball, and it's going to be a pass is right. Looking, scrambling, and he's going to be taken down, sacked on the play. And that is going to be Danny Collis on the sack, and just a big play by him.
Great job by Collis. Great job by the whole Pascack defense right there. Not much protection from Skiba, but nothing else you could do except tuck the ball and take the sack.
And it looks like with 11 seconds left, Pascack Valley is going to take the timeout to potentially give their team another chance at getting points.
Absolutely. Both teams have been very conservative so far, as you could tell by the 0-0 score. But here, Pascack Valley trying to put some points up right here.
Now, do you think Pascack Valley, we've seen them try to throw, and it hasn't really worked tonight. Do you think they go back to that, or do they try to have their fullback, who has been fantastic on the runs we've seen, give it to him?
I personally, if I was Pascack Valley and Coach Nielsen, I would try to run the ball because throwing the ball against Wayne Hills secondary, as you could tell, Falzarano and Laverty have made some big plays tonight. I wouldn't risk throwing the ball against them.
And Dimitri Davidoff has had some pretty big runs. You maybe try to catch him sleeping and try to give it to the fullback?
Absolutely. Maybe Wayne Hills wouldn't be ready for that. Both fullbacks, like you've said, they've been both big factors for their respective teams in this game.
And that looks like it's going to be Madden back to return.
Dangerous returner, as we saw, about a 20-yard pickup on the last punt return from Madden.
Don Skiba is back. Looks like he's set and ready to punt this ball off. It's going to be an end-over-end punt, and it's going to look like it's going to take a Patriots bounce, and it's going to be touched at about the 29-yard line. So pretty good punt for Wayne Hills.
Very good punt. You know, he does everything, Tom Skiba. You know, he's a punter, he's a quarterback, he's a safety.
And I mean, obviously, it's 0-0, end of the half. What have you seen from this Patriot team?
You know, I've seen a lot of ground and pound mentality, like my New York Jets. You know, they're coming out there, they're running the ball, play great defense. And Pascack Valley, I think it's really the same thing, two very similar teams going at it tonight.
Now, it's 0-0, and this game was not picked to be this close. I mean, from what I've read and from what I've heard, I heard Pascack Valley was early going to get points on the board. Wayne Hills has done a good job. Do you think that they're just game planning during the week has played into this?
You know, I think that absolutely is a factor, but I think Wayne Hills is pumped up on defense, and they really don't care what anybody says about Pascack Valley. They're coming out here playing great defense, and they're stopping them so far. No score here.
Yeah, I mean, what I've seen is a team that is they're hungry. They want to show the world that they're the powerhouse they've been for the last 10 years. And I think that tonight they're really doing that.
Absolutely. You know, both defenses have played well.
And I mean, also, they've had big runs, but also penalties have been taking plays back. What do you think that at halftime Coach Demikoff is going to be telling his players?
You know what, I think Coach Demikoff, I don't know if he's too worried about the penalties because you don't want to take away from the players' aggressiveness, but, you know, of course they need to be assessed here in the half, and I think Coach Demikoff will do just that.
Yeah, and I mean, Coach Demikoff has been on this coaching staff for a very long time. He's a veteran coach. He knows how to handle things. He knows that, you know, and I mean, I've seen it at the NFL level. Halftime can be a team's worst enemy. The adjustments made at halftime are so great that sometimes it can really bring a team out firing on all cylinders. And I really think Coach Demikoff is going to rally the troops in the locker room and bring it back onto the field.
Absolutely. You know, I definitely think that Wayne Hills is going to come out and put some points up on the board here in the third quarter.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Wayne Hills.
And I mean, what I've seen also was an offense that looks like they're trying to pass the ball a little bit more than they usually do.
Yeah, you know, like we said, you know, last game against Northern Highlands, they only completed 1 out of 8 passing attempts, but today has been a lot better with that.
Okay, well, that's the first half. And before we take a break, let's listen on to the Wayne Hills Marching Band under the direction of Christopher DeWild and senior drum majors Danielle D'Amico and Sierra Peckham.
the earth, prehistoric, tribal, and have advanced using our tribal instincts. We found music, or music found us. The first language of man was born and evolved with the drum. Led to war, death, and despair. Revolution for freedom and peace. It's forces of good and evil in a battle for supremacy. The victor will gain the right to mold mankind and create the American dream. clouds and releasing us from the boundaries of Earth. Velocity, acceleration. Where will it all end? That is for you to decide.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's return that salute with a standing round of applause for the Wayne Hills Patriot Marching Band.
Hello and welcome back to Patriots Stadium. After the first half, it is 0-0, and I mean, so far, Matt, what have you seen?
Well, I've seen a lot of what I thought we were going to see. You know, a lot of ground and pound mentality on offense. You know, you got to keep running the ball with these two teams. You got good backs and a lot of good defense.
And it looks like the kickoff for Wayne Hills is going to be fielded at about the 9-yard line, brought out, and it's going to be he's going to be taken down at around the 24-yard line. And that was SWAT on the return.
Solid return right there for Pascack Valley. Now they're trying to put some points on the board against a very stout Wayne Hills defense.
Now, as we didn't get to go in as much detail as I would like as before at the end of this, beginning of this half, what do you think Coach Demikoff told his players in the locker room?
Well, I think Coach Demikoff told his players that they got to keep it up on defense. You know, the toughness is there. They're making plays on defense. Now, if they just put some points on the board, they're going to be okay.
Diedrich under center? Gonna take the snap, and he's gonna hand it off to the fullback. And he's gonna be swallowed up. Gain of about 1 yard on the play, and that is gonna be Dimitri Davidhoff. Again, another big runner tonight for this Pascack team.
You're absolutely correct, and he was brought down by LaShawn Askew, who's had a great night on defense. He already has a sack in the first half, and there that big tackle. And you're right, Pascack Valley has utilized all their weapons on offense, including that back.
It's going to be 2nd and 7. Put a man in motion, and Diedrich's going to hold on to the ball for a play action. Looking deep, surveying the field, and he's going to throw it over the middle. Incomplete.
Well, that's a great job by Wayne Hills. Vinny Laverty near the ball. Good play by him. He's like a ball hog, just like he did last week. And now Pascack Valley's in a tough situation right here.
Yeah, and I mean, so far, the passing attack for Pascack hasn't been great. You know, we've really held them to minimum yards, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, it's really been, the story's been the Wayne Hills secondary. I mean, the Pascack Valley passing attack has not looked great, you're right, but I really contribute that to the Wayne Hills secondary, you know, starring Vinny Laverty and Frank Falzerano. They played great tonight.
It's going to be 3rd and long. Dimitri's going to be in the, Diedrich's going to be in the shotgun. He's going to pump, looking deep down the sidelines to number 11, who looks like he has both feet in bounds, and he indeed does. Is going to be a big first down for the Pascack Valley Indians.
That is a great job. The pump fake was very, very good play call. Greg Coiler on the pass. That's a great job. Good pump fake right there, and Wayne Hills bought.
And Collier, we've heard his name called a bunch of times in the first half. Do you think that they're going to continue to go back to him this half?
I do. I do. I think they're going to have to mix it up a little bit, but yes, I do think he's their guy on offense, and Wayne Hills better be ready for him.
Well, that's going to bring up a fresh set of downs for the Indians. Diedrich under center. It's going to play action, and again, pass it, and it's going to be incomplete. Coverage by number 22, Brian Burgess.
That's right, Brian Burgess right around the ball. That's been the story all night from this Patriots secondary. That's a great play by Burgess.
On the coverage, incomplete.
And again, it looks like what Pascack Valley is trying to do here is establish the pass.
That's right. You know, in the first half, both teams established the run. Now, I like the Pascack Valley offensive game plan here. You know, you ran the ball a lot during the first half, now coming out, like you said, trying to establish the pass. But they have not. They had a nice play before, but they have not done so right now.
You're going to have 2 receivers set out wide to the right. Diedrich's going to hand it off to Cortez, and Cortez is going to be swallowed up behind the line.
The draw was deadly before for Pascack Valley, but that time Wayne Hills all over it for a little gain, maybe even a loss.
That's going to bring up a 3rd and long situation here for the Indians.
That last tackle was made by junior linebacker Joey Stambouli.
3rd and 9.
And this could be a big break here for the Patriots defense. If they get a stop here, turnover on downs would not give them bad field position for the offense.
Absolutely. You know, they survived the great catch by Pascack Valley's offensive attack, and now they're coming back playing some solid defense.
Diedrich under center. He'll take the ball, and he's going to hand it off to Cortez. Cortez is going to break a tackle. Cortez is going to be down at the 40-yard line. Keep struggling. Cortez breaking tackles. Cortez to the 20, the 15, the 10. Touchdown, Indians.
That's a tremendous run by Cortez, obviously, but it was the offensive line that set that one up for the Indians. Great job all the way around on offense for them.
And it looks like the first defense was there. And I said this earlier in the first quarter, after they get past that first line of defense, as they like to call it, sometimes you just break into open field and the effects can be deadly.
You said it, you know, Wayne Hills has a very good secondary, but the open field, you know, no matter who's running the ball, it's deadly if they're in the open field. Right there, Cortez showed that.
The point after attempt for Pascack Valley is up, and it is just good. A very low kick.
Very low kick.
So that's going to make the score 7-0 in favor of the Indians with 10:07 left on the clock.
Now Wayne Hills has to come. They got to drive down the field. Hopefully they get in good field position after the kickoff return. At least put up 3 points here. Get some momentum on your side as well.
Now, last week, Vinny Laverty took one back to the house. Do you think if he does it again tonight in this situation here, it's going to spark this offense for the Patriots to get back out to what they were initially doing the last weekend?
Absolutely. I don't even think Vinny Laverty has to return a touchdown here for them to get good momentum. Get to the 50-yard line, let your running backs do their thing, let Tom Skiba take control of the offense, and that would be a huge boost for this Wayne Hills team.
So Garone and Laverty are back deep at the 5-yard line, expecting a big booming kick from Pascack Valley. That's going to be Colin Smith on the kick. And it looks like he's going to kick it out of bounds. Another penalty.
The sloppiness continues even in this second half.
And do you think potentially that they saw Vinny Laverty's last game performance on the kick return, that they're just trying not to kick it to him?
Absolutely. I know Coach Nielsen was here in the stands scouting, watching Wayne Hills, and I'm sure they know that Vinny Laverty's a dangerous returner, and they don't want to get the ball in his hands.
And I'm sure Coach Nielsen is definitely giving his kicker a word because, in this situation here, the last thing you want to do is give Hills good field position.
Absolutely. I'm sure Pascack Valley knows by now what those running backs can do. Tom Skiba takes control of this offense. They're going to be okay, Wayne Hills.
I believe so, Matt. Well, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Patriots at their own 35-yard line. Steve's going to take it, and he's going to hand it off to Garone. And Garone is going to be swallowed up.
That's a great job by the Pascack Valley defense. They do what they did last half. They pick up where they were. Great job stopping the run right there.
And again, Davidoff, another big player, their fullback. He's making plays on defense. If you're Coach Nielsen, you got to be happy with this player's performance tonight.
Absolutely great effort on both sides of the ball, and it's really contributing to the Pascack Valley lead right now.
Well, that's going to break up a 2nd and about 9 for the Patriots. And Skeeb is going to hand it off. And it looks like that is Garone again on the carry, bringing up a 3rd down.
Pascack Valley's catching on to this Wayne Hills scheme on offense. Run the ball. Now Wayne Hills, I think, if I was them, I'd throw the ball.
Correction. That was sophomore Luca Grave on the carry, and that just shows that they have a lot of faith in their younger players.
Absolutely. To be a sophomore and contributing on varsity is a huge thing, and obviously your coach has a lot of confidence in you.
That's going to bring up a 3rd down situation for the Patriots. Tom Skiba under center. It looks like he's going to pass, and he is. He's going deep down the field to Vinny Laverty, who's going to make the catch at the 30-yard line. What a great pass by Tom Skiba.
That's a great ball by Tom Skiba. You're right, and the birthday boy comes away with the 1st down. That's a great game and a great play call from Wayne Hills.
And Tom Skiba shows us right there that their offense isn't just one-dimensional. They have both the run and the passing game by Tom, and right there is a perfect prime example of how deadly his arm can really be.
That's right. He's showing off the arm as well as his weapons in the backfield. That was a great play by Wayne Hills.
Steve's going to hand it off to Grave. Grave looks like he's going to break a couple tackles, and he's going to be thrown down at the Indians' 29-yard line.
Good cutback, so he didn't get tackled for a loss. It's a nice little play by Grave.
And that's the difference between a good running back and a great running back, is their vision, is not giving up once the initial hole is set, looking there, but then again, if they realize it's being stopped, bouncing outside, cutting back, doing all those things to become like an elite running back, as you can see every Sunday.
That's right. Remind me like LaShawn McCoy, the best cutback runner in the National Football League.
And that's going to bring up a 2nd down situation for the Patriots. And Skeeb's going to toss it off to Grave. Grave has the corner, and he is going to be forced to spin move on, and he's going to be taken down at the 18-yard line.
Great contribution from the sophomore, Luca Grave, number 29. Great play. Really an excellent job right there by the offensive line. Obviously, a great run by Grave, but without the offensive line, that play would not have happened. Great job by them. Huge hole for Grave to run in.
And it looks like Pascack Valley is making a couple substitutions here. Maybe bringing a different package and being so close in the red zone. Steve's going to hand it off again to Grave, and Grave is going to be taken down.
Well, that package worked. Coach Nielsen knows what he's doing on the defensive side of the ball, and they stopped him right there.
It's going to bring up a 2nd and 9 situation for the Patriots. And I really think that you got to stick with what's been working, and that's been giving it off to the running back.
Absolutely, they're in the red zone right now. Even if they don't get the first down, they can still come away with 3 points, which I think for me would have been the goal. Like I said before, try to get away with 3 points, get some momentum, and they're doing just that.
And Vinny Laverty is up on top of the screen. It looks like they're going to hand it off to Justin Hogan, who's going to plow his way. And it looks like a scuffle at the end of this play.
Two hard-nosed football teams going at it. That's what's going to happen. It's a violent game, and they're going at it a little bit after the play there, a little bit after the whistle.
That's going to bring up a third down situation for the Patriots. And as you just said, you got to try to get points here. Whether it's 3 or it's 6, you got to get something.
Absolutely, and I think you do that, like you said, you keep running the football. It's been working. They got a good formula on offense. They got some good weapons in the backfield. Keep doing what you're doing.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd and about 8. And if you're Wayne Demikoff, what is your play call here?
Run the ball right up the middle. Give it to Justin Hogan. And if he doesn't get the first down, then kick the field goal.
And it looks like he's going to hand it off to Garone, who's going to plow his way for it looks like close to a Patriot first down. It's going to bring up 4th down here. And Coach Demikoff, what do you think he's thinking right now? Give it to your kicker, or do you just try to show your offense and just keep them out on the field?
Well, I give it to the kicker. I understand that there's still a lot of time left, but I'd like to come away with 3 points, let my defense get back on the field and do what they've been doing best.
And Coach Demikoff, he's a veteran coach. He knows his offense and he knows his defense. And it looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field. And I 100% respect this call by Coach Demikoff.
Absolutely. He believes in his guys, and there's never anything wrong with that.
So that's going to bring up a 4th and about 3 here for the Patriots. Tom Seba rolls out, and it looks like, and a receiver fell down, and that's going to be turnover on downs.
Just a tough break for Wayne Hills. They get in the red zone looking for 7 points, and wide receiver slips down. Nothing you could do about that. They'll kick and get 3 points.
Indians take over on down.
So now the Indians are backed up in their own territory. It's almost like a punt. Would you not say so?
Absolutely. 100%. Two hard-nosed football teams going at it, and we're going to see what happens right here.
And if you're Pascack Valley, you got to probably give it to Cortez. The kid has shown us tonight that he has the ability to make big plays.
Absolutely. You give it to your best player, and I think that's him. Doing a great job all night.
Dietrich under center. And he's going to pass it here, looking deep to number 2. And it is going to be incomplete. A little overthrown there.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have liked to, got a little less on that ball, but Laverty was right behind number 2. They were trying for a big gain. Nothing wrong with that, but your second down coming up.
And that was David Baumgarten, the intended receiver, but just another nice play by Vincent Laverty.
Absolutely. The birthday boy, like we said before, he's making plays all night long. He obviously made a ton of plays last week, had a great game. Now he's trying to continue that tonight, and he is.
That's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 situation here for the Indians. Hand it off here to Cortez, and Cortez is going to be swallowed up behind the line.
A swarm of Wayne Hills Patriots on that play. Great job by the defense, led by middle linebacker Justin Hogan.
So now it's going to bring up a 3rd and long here. If you're Wayne Hills, you have to be excited about what's given to you here. 3rd and long, you have them backed up in their own territory here. An incomplete pass or just not a big run here could really give them some momentum.
Absolutely, and this Wayne Hills defense definitely has the skills and the players to stop them right here, and if they do, big game changer.
Okay, and that's going to bring up 3rd and long here for the Indians. Dietrich's going to take the ball on the center, and he's going to look, surveying the field, going back to number 2, David Baumgartner, and it looks like he may have the first down here.
Well, that's just a great job by Pascack Valley. Wayne Hills, maybe they weren't ready for that one. That's a great job by the quarterbacks.
And indeed, it looks like it's going to move the chains. So a big first down pickup for the Indians.
Absolutely, that's huge. They already have a lead. They're trying to get some more points on the board. Great play call from Coach Nielsen on the Pascack Valley sideline.
And Dietrich looked very calm in the pocket there. He realized it was collapsing. He realized pressure was coming, and he just stood in there and made a great throw.
Yeah, no doubt, Andrew. A lot of poise in the pocket, as we like to say. It was a great throw, great find by Pascack Valley.
So that's going to bring up a fresh set of downs here. Diedrich under center. And it looks like he's going to continue to pass. And they're going to have the Bumgarner again on a little slant pattern here. And it looks like he's going to pick up about 8 yards.
That's a nice play by Bumgarner. Number 2, picking apart this Wayne Hills secondary right in this possession.
So that's going to bring up a second down situation. It's going to be 2nd and 1 here at the 31-yard line.
Well, Wayne Hills, you know, they got to keep it up. You got to watch out for the run. I know Pascack Valley's been passing a lot lately, but Wayne Hills definitely has the guys to stop the run if Pascack Valley decides to choose that play.
So it's going to be, again, 2nd and 1. And it looks like a false start call here on the Indians. Indeed it is.
And that helps out Wayne Hills. You know, you'll take anything you can get being down in this game. With a little under 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter, you know, you're going to take anything you can get. Any mistake from Pascack Valley will in fact help this Wayne Hills team.
And that's a very bad penalty for the Indians. Already backed up in their own territory. Getting a penalty there could really be crucial.
Absolutely. You know, we've seen a sloppy game in the first half. I think it's been cleaned up a little bit so far here in the third quarter, but right there reminds me of the first half.
It looks like Diedrich's going to give the play action and sell it well. And another great defensive play by Vinny Laverty.
Absolutely. He's a ball hawk. I mean, a guy, he's all over the field. He's always near the ball. Great job by number 9 in black.
And he's shown me a lot this year. Coming off, as I said last week, injuries. Injuries have plagued him, and he's really bounced back from them. And so far, being only a junior, he's shown a lot.
Absolutely. He's playing like a senior. You know, he's doing a great job on both sides of the ball. He's a big catch today, and he's also playing great at the safety position.
Well, that's going to bring up a third down situation here for the Indians. Dude's going to take the ball, and he's going to look downfield, looking for number 2 again, and it is going to be intercepted by Vinny Laverty. Oh, great play by Vin, and that's going to be his 4th in the last 2 games.
I mean, who else? I mean, did you really think there was going to be somebody else on this defense to step up and make a play? I mean, it's his birthday. He's coming off a great game. Vinny Laverty. I mean, really, he's been the star the past 2 games on this defense. Another interception. Like you said, 4 in 2 games. That is incredible at the safety position. And number 9 in black is doing it again.
And Coach Demikoff has to be really proud of what Vin has done. I mean, not giving up on a play. Right there, that looked like a broken play, and he just jumped in front of the receiver and picked the ball off.
Absolutely didn't bite on the play action. You know, that's a veteran move from a second-year varsity man.
And it looks like Pete Palzewski is in at quarterback. Pete's looking downfield, going deep, and he has a man open. That is going to be Vinny Laverty, number 9 again, being taken down at the 4-yard line.
That's a great job by the Wayne Hills offense. Pete Palzewski now in the game, like you said. A beautiful touch on that pass to who else? Number 9.
And if you're Pete Palzewski, you have to be happy. First play from coming off the bench, and it's a great fade pattern down the field that picks up 20 yards.
I mean, you'd think the nerves, you know, would have an effect. Not at all. I mean, the first play from scrimmage for Pete, I mean, that's just a great throw.
Looks like they're going to hand it off to Grave. Grave bounces outside. Grave is going to be swallowed up. So it's going to bring up a second down situation here for the Patriots.
Just a good stop by the Indians. I mean, Wayne Hills has to rebound.
Now, taking Tom Skiba out and putting Pete Palzewski in, do you think that this is a design, or do you think that maybe Tom may be hurting?
I don't think Tom's hurting. I think this is a design. I think Coach Demikoff from Wayne Hills trying to give this Pascack Valley defense, you know, a different look. And, you know, maybe they've been catching on a little bit to Tom Skiba. Maybe Coach Demikoff saw something that he'd like to address and is putting Pete in, and he's doing a good job so far.
I agree. So it's going to bring up a second down and the red zone for the Patriots. Pete's going to take snap, and he's looking in the end zone, and he's going to overthrow the intended receiver, number 9, Vinny Laverty, running a slant pattern. It's going to bring up a third down.
Just a little overthrow there. You know, good route run by Laverty, and they're trying to get him the ball, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, he's been their catalyst. He's been the spark of that team that's really gotten the troops going.
On both sides of the ball. You know, obviously he has the pick, and he has a couple big catches today in this game.
So it's going to be 3rd and goal here And I'm curious to see what Coach Demikoff has up his sleeve here.
I'd run it.
Pazuski under center. Going to take the ball, and he's going to hand it off to Justin Hogan, the big man, who's going to plow his way for a Patriot touchdown. But the ball is out at the goal line. No signal yet from the officials.
Hogan on the carry.
And it looks like he is a yard, inches short on the play call. And that is a huge stop by Pascack Valley.
Absolutely. You know, I do like the play call from Wayne Hills. I mean, give it to Hogan. You can't bring him down with one guy. I mean, just barely missed the end zone on that play, and Wayne Hills is going for it. 4th
and inches. The crowd is on their feet. Everybody in the stadium is on their feet, getting ready to see what Coach Demikoff has planned here. And if I'm Coach Demikoff, I think I got to give it to my big man again.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Pete under center. Going to hand it off to Hogan, and Hogan's going to plow his way for a Patriot touchdown.
I love it. I love the game plan right there from Wayne Hills. Hogan deserves the ball, and there it is, touchdown Patriots.
What a great drive. Started off by the defensive side of things. Vincent Laverty getting the interception, getting good field position. The Patriots driving down the field and scoring. I mean, if you're Coach Demikoff, you have to be ecstatic, very happy about his offense.
Absolutely. You know, they didn't just get the interception, they capitalized on the interception. That's a great job by this Wayne Hills team, like you said, trying to tie the game right here at the extra point.
And it looks like the kick is up, and the extra point is good.
Great job by Wayne Hills, fighting all the way back. We got a tie football game.
So the score is all tied up at 7 with 33 seconds left in the third quarter. Matt, this team can compete with anybody. They look like the Wayne Hills teams of old. I'm really proud to say that I'm watching a football team that has shown some winning strategy in their game plan.
Absolutely. I mean, this team, they're willing to fight back. They're willing to play tough defense, run the ball, throw the ball when they have to. Doesn't even matter who's in their quarterback. This is a good football team.
Mike Pimpinella is back deep for the Pascack Valley Indians alongside Rocco Swatek, who we haven't heard his name called a lot lately. Do you think maybe if he gets the ball here, you never know, maybe break one, take it to the house?
I mean, yeah, he's that type of player. You know, he's electrifying, and every time he touches the ball, he can make a big play. So Wayne Hills better be wary of that.
And it looks like the Patriots are ready to kick off. And it looks like Swatek's going to take the ball at the 11-yard line. He has a seam going up the middle. He's breaking tackles, brings it back to the 37-yard line. A very good return for Pascack Valley.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, that's Swatek right there. I mean, that's a tremendous return. Now he's giving his offense great field position here. But this Patriot defense, I mean, I think they're going to get another stop here.
The defense has been very big so far for the Patriots, and let's see if they can make another stop. So we're going to have a first down situation here for the Indians.
Both sides, you know, both sides have played tremendous defense. They score when they have to, when they get in the red zone, you know. And I'm looking forward to seeing some more defense here from the Patriots.
Diedrich's going to be in the shotgun formation. Puts a man in motion, and it's going to be a timeout called by the Patriots sideline. What do you think this is going to be talked about during this timeout?
I think, you know, they're just going over some things. You know, they just scored a touchdown, good momentum on their side. Coach Demikoff probably going to settle them down a little bit. Maybe a little excited here. They just want to, you know, focus and get the right formations out there on defense.
And if I'm the Patriots, and Pete Pazuski is in at quarterback here, no, actually, it looks like they might be putting back Tom Skiba, but I still have to go to my man, Vincent Laverty. Vinny has been electrifying in these last two games, and he's a guy that you maybe put an end around in or maybe just throw it out deep. You never know. He's quick, he's versatile, and I think that he's going to have a big play in whether they win this game tonight.
Absolutely. You know, like you said, they could do a sweep with him. He could run with the ball. You know, he can go catch the ball. He's that versatile of a player, like you said. He's a very dynamic player on this Wayne Hills offense.
He reminds me of a guy on the Seattle Seahawks, Percy Harvin. Can do it all.
Absolutely.
electrifying kick returner, and also can catch the ball.
Definitely. And Vinny plays defense, too.
So it's going to be first down for the Indians, and it's going to be handed off to number 21, Mike Pimpinella, who's going to be taken down at about the 38-yard line. Gain of 8 on the play.
Yeah, right there, that's a good play by Wayne Hills. Number 49, Joe Stambuli, and Tom Ramsey, defensive tackle. We've been hearing their names a lot tonight. They've had a great game.
And it looks like the Indians are just going to let this quarter run out.
That is the end of the third quarter.
Well, that's it for the third quarter with the score 7-7. We'll be back with fourth quarter action after this. Hello and welcome back to Patriot Stadium. I'm here alongside Matt Conforti. Game's tied up at 7-7, and it looks like this is going to come down to the wire. And on that last carry, that would Jorge Cortez with another big run.
Tremendous play by Jorge Cortez. He's been doing it all night, and Wayne Hills definitely has to game plan around him this quarter.
So that's going to bring up a fresh set of downs.
Good field position here for the Indians from Pascack Valley with the score tied up at 7.
And if you're Coach Nielsen, you want to get points here. Whether it's 3 or it's a touchdown, you got to get something on the board just to give your defense a little slack, just in case if a big play does happen, so it doesn't come back to bite you.
Absolutely. It also gives the team tremendous amount of momentum. Even just a field goal really helps turn around an offense.
Well, it's going to be first down for the Indians. Deidre's going to put a man in motion. Drew's going to hand it off to number 27, Jorge Cortez. Jorge Cortez has a block, and he's going to be taken down at the 30-yard line. First down, Indians.
I mean, again, it's Cortez. He's everywhere. He's always touching the ball, and he's always making big plays for this Indians team.
And Cortez, I thought tonight's game was going to be we're going to be calling Rocco Swatek, but no, Jorge Cortez has showed us that he came to play. He's ready. And, I've seen a lot of this guy from Pascack Valley.
Absolutely. He's been making plays all night. And what else can you ask for from a running back? He's tough. He can go outside. He can go inside. He doesn't care if he gets hit. He doesn't step out of bounds too much. He'll take the hit. And, that's really what you want in a dynamic running back like Cortez is.
So it's going to be a fresh set of downs for the Indians. Diedrich's going to be in the shotgun formation. He's going to fake the end around, and he's going to hand it off to number 28, Rocco Swatek, who's going to be swallowed up for a gain of about 2.
Now, I think, after that play, who to give the ball back to. I think you got to give the ball to Cortez. A little gain, what are you going to do? But I think you got to keep giving the ball to Cortez. He's got the hot hands right now.
And that was Derek Basnick on the tackle. Another great senior, and Wayne Hills has to be proud of what he's done so far this year.
Absolutely. He's a 3-year varsity letterman at the offensive tackle, defensive end position. He's about 6'5", 6'6", big kid, and he's making plays for Wayne Hills tonight.
So Diedrich is back in shotgun formation. It's going to be second and about 8 for the Indians. They're going to put a man in motion, and they're going to hand it off. And he's going to be trips on the play, and he's going to be swallowed up at about the 31-yard line.
And another great play by number 49 in black. That's Joe Stambuli. I've been hearing his name a lot. He's been making plays all night long at the outside linebacker position for the Patriots.
And that was Mike Pimpinella on the carry. He's got to be disappointed with that one. Tripping in the backfield, that's never a good sign.
Absolutely. He had room to move. The offensive line did their job, but he didn't do his on that play.
So that's going to bring up a third down situation, and it looks like in Pascack Valley wants to talk things over here.
Yeah, I would too if I was in this situation, if I was Coach Nielsen of the Indians. You're driving down the field. Wayne Hills is playing tight defense all night long, and you're trying to get some points on the board. You got to talk it over. I don't blame him here.
So with 9:22 left in the quarter, Coach Demikoff has to be proud of his guys.
Absolutely. Even though they were picked, they weren't picked to win this game. Even though they weren't picked to win this game, they're playing a tight job. Playing a tight game here in the fourth quarter, offensively and defensively. And Coach Demikoff, yeah, you're right. He should be proud.
And I mean, this could help the Patriots maybe talk over some defensive strategy and maybe get the right personnel on the field. Because anytime you take a timeout, yes, it's good for the offense, but it also can be beneficial for the defense. Give their big guys a rest. You know, anytime you're on the football field for long periods of time, and this drive from Pascack Valley has been pretty lengthy, sometimes a break can be good.
Absolutely. You know, even though Wayne Hill shouldn't be needing many breaks, you know, they do a lot of preaching and everything. They're all in great shape. But, you know, absolutely everybody needs a break in this defense. You know, they're going to make a big play here.
Well, that's going to bring up a 3rd and long situation here for the Indians. He's going to hand it off to Cortez. Cortez has a hole, breaking tackles to the 20, to the 10. He's going to plow his way to about the 8-yard line.
The draw has hurt Wayne Hills. That's been the flaw tonight. They cannot stop the draw play. You know, Pascack Valley runs it in great situations. Cortez again with the hot hand, a big gain there from the Indian offense.
And the draw play is very deceiving. It looks like your quarterback's going to go on the air raid, look down the field for a guy open, but then he just hands it off to his running back, and it doesn't give the linebackers enough time to compensate for already being down the field.
Absolutely. You know, it's a great play call right there in that situation, and now Pascack Valley's looking to score inside the 10.
It's going to bring up a 1st down. And the 1st and goal is going to be play action here. Diedrich has a man open in the end zone, and it is going to be caught for a touchdown.
Well, that's a great job by Pascack Valley. You know, I mean, if you're the Patriot defense, you say, what can you say? You know, that's a great throw back of the end zone. Good find by the Pascack Valley quarterback. Good play call by Coach Nielsen.
And that's going to be number 11, Greg Collier's touchdown tonight. Another guy we've been calling his name, and he delivered it again.
Absolutely. You know, when your team needs you right there in a red zone, you know, a tie game, he delivers, and that's a great thing.
So number 3, Jack Madden, is going to be attempting the extra point here. Snap the hold, the kick, and it is good. So that's going to make the score 14-7 with 8 minutes and 49 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, this Wayne Hills team, you know, they got to rebound. You know, I mean, they're getting the ball right here. Maybe you want to give it to your playmakers, Justin Hogan, Chris Garone, Vinny Laverty. You know, those guys making plays all night long. I'd keep giving it to them.
So, I've said it last time Patriots were receiving the ball. Vinny Laverty. If they kick it to him, if they do, they may not want to give him the ball in his hands because we know what he can do with it. But if he does get the ball, do you think he has the ability right here, right now, to break it and take it to the house?
Absolutely. You know, every time Vinny Laverty touches the ball, I think he can make a huge play, you know. And if I was Pascack Valley special teams coordinator right here, I would not want to get him the ball because, as you know, he is dangerous.
And it will be Vinny Laverty and Chris Garone deep back on the kick return. And it looks like they're going to kick it off to Chris Garone, who's going to field the ball at about the 11-yard line. Garone's carrying it up, and it's going to be tackled down at about the 22-yard line.
That's a great job right there on special teams for Pascack Valley. Now Wayne Hills has to drive about 75, 80 yards to get to the end zone.
And it looks like the Wayne Hills coaching staff is going to send Pete Palazewski out there. And we've seen a trend with Pete Palazewski. It's been pass with him. He has a good arm. Do you think they're going to use him again and try to go down the field?
Absolutely. I try to go down the field, you know, to Vinny Laverty. I don't see why you wouldn't do that. Maybe Pascack Valley's game planning around him.
It looks like another great run by Luca Grave. Breaking tackles, bringing it out to about the 32-yard line.
It's a great job by the sophomore running back, number 29, Luca Grave on the carry.
Correction, actually Chris Garone on the carry. They've been changing the personnel so many times. Sometimes you never know who's going to be carrying it because Wayne Hills likes to change things up and never keep the same guys out there.
Which is good. You know, nobody's ever tired. They got a lot of playmakers, and they keep feeding them the ball.
And it shows that they have depth on their team.
Absolutely.
It looks like they're going to hand it off again. And a gain of about 4-yard line. Chris Garone again on the carry.
You know, that's, you know, they keep feeding Chris Garone the ball, and I like it. I like the ground and pound mentality they've been doing. You know, I'll say it again. You know, it's a great thing they're doing with the ball in the backfield. You know, keep getting it to Garone, Hogan. I like it a lot from Wayne Hills.
So it's going to be a first down, Patriots. And they're going to hand the ball off again to Garone. Garone is breaking tackles, and he's going to pick up about 2 yards on the carry.
Now, if I was Wayne Hills, you ran the ball a few times in a row. I take a shot deep down the field, and I try to hit number 9.
I agree. Vin Laverty has been dominant tonight, and we'll see if they can try to go back to him again. It's going to bring up a second down situation for the Patriots. Pete Pazuski under center is going to hand it off to Garone. Garone is going to be taken down at about the 38-yard line.
Good little pickup from Wayne Hills. They've been establishing the run. The offensive line is doing a pretty good job today, and I hope they keep it up.
And that's going to bring up a third down situation here. If I'm Wayne Hills, Pete Pazuski's in. I think that they're going to go for the pass here.
Absolutely, and I think if I was Pascack Valley, I would be expecting pass because Pete has shown off his arm tonight, like you said. And Wayne Hills, it's an obvious passing situation. I think Pete's going to throw the ball.
Well, here's the third down situation. Pete under center, and he's going to play action here, looking deep, looking to Vin Laverty, and it is going to be caught by Joey Kenny. Joey Kenny down the sideline to the 20, the 10, and he's going to be taken down at the 11-yard line.
That's a great call from Wayne Hills. Like we said, you know, we wanted to see the ball go down the field. We were talking a lot about Vinny Laverty, not much about Joey Kenny today, but he comes up with a big play down the field, and he sets up Wayne Hills to try to score.
And that ball didn't even look like it was intended to Joe Kenny. It looked like Pete was almost trying to throw the ball out of bounds. And Joe, with his big hands, was able to just take it from the air and just bring it to him and make a great play on the carry.
Absolutely, you know, that's what playmakers are there for. You know, number 32 in black, Joey Kenny, you know, he's making plays and all season long, and right there, you know, he shows why he's in the game.
Pazuski's going to hand the ball off, and he's going to be stopped. Barely any gain on the carry.
Great hit from Pascack Valley. That's a lot of Indians right around the ball carrier, and that's a great job by the defensive coordinator from Pascack Valley. Great call.
And they keep feeding the ball with Chris Garone, but it looks like Joe Kenny is hobbling back to the huddle, so maybe that's a little scary if you're Wayne Hill's coach.
Absolutely, you know, he just made that big play. You know, he's an important factor to this offense and defense. You know, he's a junior linebacker and tight end, and he's been making plays all season long.
Second down here. Because he's going to hand it off to Justin Hogan. Justin Hogan's going to plow his way for more. Justin Hogan continues to keep his legs moving, and is going to be taken down at about the 2-yard line.
And how about that from the senior fullback? You know, he just carried the pile all the way inside the 5. Justin Hogan, number 3 from Wayne Hills, doing a great job out of the backfield tonight.
It's first and goal. Patriots, you're at your 2-yard line. If I'm Coach Demikoff, I got to give it to my big man again. Give it to Justin Hogan and just plow your way into the end zone.
Absolutely. I wouldn't change a thing up. You know, it's been working. It just worked on that last play, and absolutely, I give it to number 3 again.
We're going to hand it off again to Justin Hogan. And Pascack was there. They knew it was coming.
That's right. Pascack Valley all over that one. They thought like we did. They thought he was getting the ball, and he did. I try play action here, but hopefully get somebody wide open for Wayne Hills.
I agree. Maybe have a play action. Maybe have Laverty or even Joe Kenny line up at the tight end position and maybe do a little drag across the field. That's a very hard play to defend here in the red zone, and it could be crucial for Wayne Hills.
Absolutely. You know, it's hard. It keeps getting harder and harder throughout the game to score in the red zone. There's less and less space to cover for the defense, and Wayne Hills is just trying to push it in right here.
And it's going to bring up a second and goal situation for the Patriots. Pete Pazuski is going to hand it off to Justin Hogan, who's going to plow his way for a Patriots touchdown.
What a great job by Justin Hogan. Great play call. Justin Hogan right into the end zone. You know, I wouldn't change a thing. I was considering play action, but you know, why not when you got a guy like Hogan who can barrel his way through?
And a stellar play here by Justin Hogan. I called it before. I said, give it to Justin Hogan. Give it to the big man, and he delivers.
And the offensive line, a great push, a complete job on offense for Wayne Hills.
And the PAT attempt is up, and it is a bobble snap, and it looks like it is going to be a big play here for Pascack Valley.
Yeah, you know, just unfortunate for Wayne Hills. You know, looking to try to tie the game, and you know, it's just, you know, what are you going to do? You got to go out there and play some defense now.
But the Patriots got the touchdown. That was big. Now, obviously, yes, you would love to have the game tied up at 14, but football is a game about adversity. It's about when you get knocked down, getting back up. And what I saw right there is, yeah, they got knocked down. But this Patriot defense is tough. They have 4 minutes and 23 seconds left to make a stop and give their offense the ball. I think in this game, the last team with the ball is going to win the game.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to be one big play to decide this one.
And it's going to be number 21, Mike Pimpinella, and back to return. And he's going to be joined alongside, it looks to be,
Pascack Valley looking for a big return here to try to set it up and get another score here.
and the other deep man is Rocco Swatek. And a booming kick from the Patriots here, fielded at about the 11-yard line. Number 21, Mike Pimpinella, gets a return of about 18 yards.
Now Wayne Hills has to come out here on defense and come out with a big stop. They got to be ready for whatever Pascack Valley is going to do. We know they got some good weapons out of the backfield, and Wayne Hills has to be ready for them.
And let's see what the Patriots defense can do here. A nice stop here, maybe even a turnover. That would be great for the Patriots.
Absolutely, and Wayne Hills has to watch out for the draw play because it's been deadly tonight from Pascack Valley.
So Diedrich's going to line up in the shotgun position. 2 receivers at the top of the screen, 1 at the bottom. And the single man, they're going to put a man in motion here, and they are going to fake it here. Looking deep down the field, number 2, David Bumgardner has one man to beat, Vin Laverty, and he is going to be tackled down at the 5-yard line. A big play there for the Indians.
That's a great job by Pascack Valley. You know, their wide receiver got behind the secondary, which is never good for opposing defenses, and now Pascack Valley set up the score.
Now, if Wayne Hills is able to stop Pascack Valley here and force a field goal, that's a victory, I believe, for them. Only being down then by 4 points, I mean, that's a lot more than being down by another touchdown.
Absolutely, you know, and I think Wayne Hills has a defense to do it, you know, to get a goal line stand right here, and I honestly do believe Wayne Hills can do that.
And there's still a lot of time left, 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Yeah, it's not a lot in the big scheme of things, but it's still, in this situation here, it's anybody's game. So it's going to be first and goal at the 5-yard line. Looks like they're going to hand it off to the fullback, who is going to be taken down. A gain of 1 yard on the play.
No, that's just a good job by the defense. You know, we thought they were going to get goal line stand. You know, that's step one. Had a lot of hurry, you know, and all the defense, you know, they were making plays.
And Dylan Dokes, another senior, making a great play.
Absolutely, you know, number 35, he's a linebacker, you know. I don't think he started today, but right there he comes in off the sideline and makes a big play there for the Patriots.
Okay, so it's going to be second and goal here. Looks like Pascack Valley's going to put a man in motion, and they're just going to hand it off to Cortez. And Cortez is going to be taken down, bringing up a third down situation here. And if you're Wayne Hills, you have to have your team pumped up here.
Absolutely.
Big time, big plays, you know, a lot can happen here.
Absolutely, this defense, you know, that was a tremendous play. 2 tremendous plays in a row stopping the run by Wayne Hills, and they got to be ready for anything here from this Pascack Valley offense.
So Coach Demikoff and his staff are going to take a timeout with 2 minutes and 43 seconds remaining in the game. Now, if they talk things over here, get the correct personnel in, and they do make the stop, if you're Pascack Valley, do you kick it or do you try to go for the touchdown?
Personally, I would kick the field goal because if you kick the field goal, you'd be up by 4, and that would not give Wayne Hills enough, a chance with the field goal to win the game.
Yeah, and I mean, this Wayne Hills defense looks really good. They're hungry. They want to make a stop. And I have faith in them. I really do believe that right here, they're going to make the big stop, force a field goal, and then it's anybody's game.
Absolutely. The front seven's played very well all night. They've been okay on the run. The secondary's played well. On this drive, they've been okay. But throughout the game, the defense has played very good as a whole and as a unit for Wayne Hills.
So it's going to be 3rd and goal at about the 4-yard line. 2 minutes and 43 seconds left in the game. Score is 13-14 Indians. They're going to toss it off to Cortez, and Cortez is going to be taken down at the 2-yard line.
How about that? That's a great defense from Wayne Hills.
And another timeout. So they're obviously trying to get the ball back with some time here. Now, I said this before the play happened. Do you still kick it, or do you try to go for a touchdown here?
I would still kick it, yep. I would try to, if I was Pascack Valley, I'd try to challenge Wayne Hills when I get the ball back to go the length of the field and get in the end zone.
And I just think that, even if they do try to go for the touchdown here, nothing's guaranteed. Guys make mistakes. Guys fall down, And tonight we've seen incomplete passes, and this Wayne Hills defense has stepped up. Now, if they force them to make a field goal here, as we saw on the Wayne Hills side, a bad snap could happen, a fumble. There's a lot that goes into it, and it has to be perfect. Every play has to be perfect here, and the margin for error is large, especially on the offensive side of things.
Absolutely, a fumble here would be a tremendous lift for Wayne Hills, But yeah, of course, anything could happen. It's a high school football game. It's anything could happen in football.
And it looks like Wayne Hills is definitely. We can see Coach Demikoff talking it over with his defense, getting the right guys out there, getting the goal line package in, and it's tough sledding in there. And I don't think that they're going to give, if they try to run it, this running back any room for any game.
Absolutely not. I don't think they want Cortez to beat him. He's been all over him today. He's had a great game, and I think Wayne Hills is ready for whatever Pascack Valley is going to run.
And Pascack Valley is still talking things over, and it looks like they're going to keep their offense on the field here. It's 4th and goal, 2 minutes and 37 seconds left. 13-14 Indians. Diedrich's going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off, and they're going to shovel past a jump pass to a man in the end zone. A very well-designed play by the Indians. No one saw that coming.
Absolutely not, and that is a great play by the Pascack Valley Indians. It looks like they went over that a lot in practice this week, and, it's just the perfect time for it. It caught Wayne Hills off guard, and that was a great play.
That's an NFL-style play. You see that on Sundays. You don't necessarily see that on Friday night games. And that's just a very well-executed play there, and you really can't blame the defense for that.
Absolutely, nobody saw that coming.
It looks like the kick is up, and it is good, making the score 21-13 with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left in the game.
So now Wayne Hills has to drive the length of the field, and they got to get 8 points. That's right, they score a touchdown. They got to get the 2-point conversion if they want to make it a game here.
Now, for Coach Demikoff, do you go with the junior quarterback Tom Skiba, or do you go with the senior, the veteran Pete Palzewski?
I would go with the junior Tom Skiba. I like the way he's played today. Pete Palzewski, no knock on him at all. Maybe they'll keep doing what they're doing. Bring in Tom Skiba, and then put in Pete. You never know. But I personally would put in Tom Skiba. I'd also run the ball a lot.
Well, Laverty and Garone are back to return, and Matt, it's almost becoming an annual thing. Every time the kickoff is here, we always bring up Vin Laverty's name. Do you think he's going to bring one back here?
Yeah, if they give him the opportunity, I don't see why not. I don't see Pascack Valley even giving him the shot because he's that dangerous of a returner. But we will see right here.
And it's going to be a booming kick, and it looks like it's going to be fielded at about the 9-yard line by Chris Garone. Chris Garone's looking to carry it up the middle, and he's going to be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Now Wayne Hills has to go about 75 yards down the field to score 8 points. That's right, they got to get a 2-point conversion, and I think this offense is ready.
So you're Wayne Hills. 2 minutes and 29 seconds left in the game. You need to score 8 points. I mean, what do you go to? Do you go to your big man in Justin Hogan, or do you try to go deep and look at Vin Laverty on the sidelines?
Well, since Palzewski is in right now, I think they're going to throw the ball. Like you said, when he's in, they like to throw the ball. I like to go to number 9, the playmaker, Vinny Laverty. You can't go wrong giving the ball to Hogan, but throwing the ball is a more efficient way to get down the field.
Palzewski is going to roll out. Palzewski is looking down the field, and he's going to hit his man on the sidelines, and it looks like it's going to be a gain of about 4 or 5 yards here. Bring up second down. That's Frank Falzarano on the catch.
It's a very small window Pete Palzewski had to throw in, and he got it. Great job by number 17 in black.
And that's what you got to do. Try to get the ball out of bounds. Try to throw the ball, obviously, down the middle. If it's open, you have to hit it, but ultimately the goal is to try to get it on the sidelines to get out of bounds.
Absolutely, And now with the clock being stopped, very smart play by Wayne Hills Patriots.
So Palzewski is going to be a shotgun formation. He's going to roll out to his left. Looking downfield, has Anthony Vigorito open, and Anthony Vigorito makes a spectacular catch on the sideline. One-hand grab, bring it to his body, a circus catch. What a great effort by Anthony Vigorito.
That's a great job by Anthony Vigorito. A great one-handed bobbled catch, and he goes out of bounds to stop the clock, which really does help the Patriots right here. Tremendous play by number 1.
I've said it before, and I'm sticking with it. Big players make big plays in big times. And right there was just another prime example of a big play.
Absolutely. Great job by the offense.
Palzewski in the shotgun formation is going to roll it to his right. Looks surveying the field, looking for, and it looks like it's going to be caught by number 1, Anthony Vigorito again, bringing him on the other side of the field, spreading him out. It's very hard to defend.
Yeah, he is a playmaker. He's very dynamic and versatile, and that's his second catch in a row, and they're really utilizing Vigorito right here on this drive.
So the clock is winding down. 1 minute and 54 seconds left in this game. Ball at the 48-yard line, and Palzewski's going to roll it to his left, looking deep, hit as he's thrown, and it is going to be incomplete.
Just a little overthrow there. Good pressure by the Indians. Also a good job in the secondary dropping back. Number 1 was open, but Pete did overthrow him.
But if you're Pete Palzewski, and I'm sure Coach Demikoff is telling him hit this, if it's not there, don't force it. You still have your third down. You have 1 minute and 43. If it's not there, don't force it. The last thing you want here is an interception.
Absolutely, and this offense, they do have the playmakers to score the 8 points and tie this game. And the only reason to do that is to get to the red zone, and that's how you got to do it.
So Pete Palzewski is going to be lined up in the shotgun formation. He's going to take the snap, looking to his right. He's going to elude a defender, and he's going to scramble and take off for the first down. A great play by Pete Palzewski using his legs.
He saw turf. He had space. He did, like you said. He didn't try to, be a hero. Try to maybe, throw a pick. He got the first down. That's a great job by number 17. Great read by Palzewski.
But there is a penalty marker down on the field. And if this is against Wayne Hills, this could be really crucial here.
That would be a heartbreaker for Wayne Hills.
You're right, a heartbreaker. And it looks like it is against Pascack Valley.
It's like a personal foul. And that really does help out Hills right here.
And that, another break for this Patriots offense.
Absolutely, another break they really could use. It's a tough situation, down by 8 with 1 minute 37 seconds left here in the game. And Wayne Hills just trying to tie this game right here.
So that's going to give them a fresh set of downs. And Pete Palzewski is going to line up in shotgun formation. Pete Palzewski is going to roll it to his left, looking down the field. He throws a deep ball to Anthony Vigorito, overshot him in the end zone, and that's going to bring up a second down.
Not the best read there by Pete. It is double coverage, but I do like the play call. They like rolling Pete out, and he does have the arm to throw the football, just not there that time.
He's a big kid. He's got a good arm, and he can throw it to all assets of the field. Throw it deep, throw the short pass in the middle of the field.
That's right. He got the quarterback build. He's got good feet, he's got good height, and he's got a strong arm. Nothing wrong with what Pete just did right there, rolling out.
And the quarterback position is ultimately about footwork, getting out of the pocket, and being poised when pressure comes.
Absolutely. We just saw the footwork. Pete ran for the first down right there, and they do like to roll him out, as we've said.
So Pete Palzewski in the shotgun formation is going to take the ball, roll it again to his left. Pete's looking downfield, and he's going to hit, and it's going to be incomplete, but a flag is on the play. If this is in, it looks to be the case of pass interference on the defense here, which could be a huge play. A holding call on Pascack Valley, and it looks like it's going to give Wayne Hills a nice break here.
You know what? And it's all about capitalizing on Pascack Valley's mistakes. You know, they did that to Wayne Hills to take the early 7-0 lead, but now there's been a change here with the penalties. Great high school football game tonight.
Absolutely. This is what you want. It may not be a Friday night, but the lights are here. It's beautiful weather. Nothing like it.
Absolutely, you know. I mean, this offense are looking to score. You know, it's been a great game. They ruled Wayne Hills out everywhere. You know, everybody I talked to, they thought Wayne Hills were going to lose this game, and now look at this.
And it looks like that's going to bring a first down here for the Patriots. And I mean, from what I've seen, this team is ready. This team is hungry, and I think they're going to score here. So Pete Pawlowski's back in the shotgun formation. He's got twins to his left-hand side. He's going to hand it off here to Justin Hogan. Justin Hogan is going to pick up about 7 on the carry.
It's a great call there. You know, a run play out of the shotgun formation. Pascack Valley, you know, they weren't ready for it, and Wayne Hills got a good game right there.
So it looks like the clock is running down. 56 seconds left in this ball game. Second down, very close to the end zone. This is do or die time here.
Absolutely, you know, this is where, you know, big players, like you said, make big plays in big times, and this is time to step up for Wayne Hills.
Hand it off to Justin Hogan, who's going to get his way for a Patriot, looks to be first down. And the clock is continuing to run down, and did he get the first down is the question. No, he did not. They're going to bring up third down here, 32 seconds left in the game, and it looks like some personnel substitution on the Indian side. So the clock is winding down, 29 seconds left. Pete Pawlowski is going to put Vinny Laverty in motion. He's going to play action here, looking, end zone, touchdown! Go! It's not over yet. They still need to get the 2-point conversion, but that really, really, really helps out Wayne Hills.
That is a tremendous play call. We talked about it the last red zone trip Wayne Hills had. You know, maybe you try a play action, maybe get somebody wide open, and Joey Kenny was that person that was wide open. A great play by Wayne Hills, and now you're right. They do have to get the 2-point conversion here to tie it at 21.
So this is the game. The score is 19-21. Pascack Valley, 20 seconds left in the game. The 2-point conversion attempt is here, and we'll see what Wayne Hills has in store. And it looks like a timeout is going to be called here by Pascack Valley. They want to talk things over. Now, Matt, what do you call here? Do you give it to Justin Hogan, or do you try to pass it?
I would give it to Justin Hogan. I would do that because, you know, I don't think you can go wrong giving it to your big fullback. You know, he's had a nice game. You know, he had a great game last week. You know, and he's a tough runner, and I do like him here in this situation to tie the game at 21.
You know, I agree with that, but I have to say I would put Vinny Laverty in motion, have him in the slot position, and maybe run a drag, a play-action play here, and with his speed, you know, speed can really be deadly, and I think that he'd be able to get open in the end zone to get this 2-point conversion.
And you're right, I think the Wayne Hills does have the playmakers to do just that. So we'll see what Coach Demikoff has in store.
So it comes down to this. 20 seconds left in the game. The score is 19-21 Indians. 2-point attempt, 2-point conversion attempt, and let's see what Wayne Hills is made out of here.
Huge moment in the game. This is the game tonight, right now.
The crowd's getting in it. It is great. And let's see what Coach Demikoff has in store. Pete Pawlowski puts a man in motion, and he's going to roll out. And it looks he has a man going in the end zone, and it is going to be incomplete, broken up. And that just about seals the deal.
Yeah, you know, it was a good game. You know, Pascack Valley right now has a 2-point lead. It looks like that will be the final score. Both teams played very well tonight. Very good high school football game tonight.
It looks to be a heartbreaking loss for the Patriots. They were doing so well against such a high-caliber team, and to lose like this really hurts.
Absolutely, it is heartbreaking. They played great all night long. They were the underdogs. It didn't really look like they cared about being the underdog or whatever. They came out here, they played very well. They played well enough to win. It could have been anybody's game.
So it looks like Pascack Valley is just going to take a knee and call this one a game. But like we said, Wayne Hills wasn't picked to win this game. Wayne Hills showed us that they can compete with the best of teams. I mean, this performance tonight was fantastic, phenomenal. Even though maybe they didn't win, it shows that they have heart, and that's going to come down and be very important later on in the season.
Absolutely, it shows they could play with anybody. And Pascack Valley's a good football team. They won a state championship last year. And now, Wayne Hills is coming out. They came out tonight and they showed, even though they didn't win the game, that they could play with the big boys.
But before we say anything, they still had the onside kick attempt here. And if they get the ball back, this could be a Hail Mary situation here. So we shouldn't say it's over yet. There's still a lot. There's still 20 seconds left on the clock. And if they get this onside kick, you're looking at a whole new ball game.
Absolutely. Anything could happen.
And it is going to be kicked out of bounds. And that just about wraps up this game here at Patriot Stadium.
Both teams played well. And Pascack Valley comes away with a 21-19 victory tonight.
And that's such a tough play. It's tough, and even in the professional level, to get the onside kick. And before, obviously, we apologize for jumping the gun and saying that this game is over, because I honestly forgot about the onside kick attempt. But they showed there that it's a tough play to run, and to execute it properly, it really takes a miracle.
Absolutely. And I did too. I forgot about the onside kick.
But like we said, you got to be happy with this Wayne Hills performance. They've shown a lot. So,
absolutely.
Pascack Valley looks like they're going to be taking a knee here. The victory formation, every team's favorite formation.
Absolutely.
And this one is over. Well, Matt, it's a heartbreaker for the Patriots, losing by 2 points. And it even hurts more against a big team and a good team like Pascack Valley.
You're right. Both defenses played well all night long. Run games were there. Some big pass conversions, and either team deserved to win today.
Yeah, and both sides played physical football, and they played a really exciting game, and that's all you can really want from a team.
That's right. Absolutely. Competitive all the way out.
Absolutely. And we saw some big plays tonight. We saw that their offense and both defense can compete at a high level. And, obviously losing stinks, but hey, they have always next week.
That's right. Fly with Wayne Hills, I'd be positive because this is a very good team that they played tonight. And, next week, they got Ramapo, and that's going to be a tough game as well. But, they show that they could play with the good team, so I wouldn't be worried if I was Wayne Hills.
All right. Well, that about wraps things up tonight. Once again, our final score was a heartbreaking 19-21 loss for the Patriots. From our entire Wayne Hills TV crew, I'm Andrew Easse. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to tune in next week as Hills battles its arch rival Ramapo. Good night, everyone.